gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Flank. All right, I'm joined by the 20-time champion, a 2-time world champion, a staple to the Call of Duty scene, a legend. Give it up for the co-host of The Flank, Patrick Price, a.k.a. Aches. And then on my other side, we got another world champion, another staple. Give it up for Chris Duarte, a.k.a. Parasite. Gentlemen, how are we feeling today?
I'm feeling great, Tom.
Yes, sir. I like that, Pat. How's X Defiant going?
Oh, it's going great. Tom, you know, like, you gotta think about this. I embarked on this game designer journey a few months back, and man, at the tippity top and not even halfway up. Not to mention, Tom, today got some beef jerky. Ooh. And you know, when you got beef jerky, nothing can go wrong.
Nah, what kind of flavor you got, though? What kind of flavor you got?
Honey glazed.
Oh, that sounds good. I love jerky.
You know, if you remember, Jerky XP used to be in the scene.
I do remember them. What happened to them?
They had some fire jerky, right? Yeah. So then I was like, I don't know where they went, but I've been looking around, right, trying to find a replacement because I was a big fan. And hey, when I'm telling you, I got close, bro.
What's the name, Pat? Let them know.
Tillamook.
Tillamook. I never heard of those. Interesting.
It's some good stuff. It's some good stuff. I like that.
Chris, what about you? Go ahead, Pat. My bad.
Not to mention, Tom.
Yeah.
Hey, you know I've been in North Carolina a little while. Hey, I finally found my barber, and I haven't seen him yet, but hey, I'm gonna get him. Hey. No more hat on the flank after I see him, you know?
I like that, Pat. Go get your hair cut. Listen, Pat, you go get a nice cut, man, and you're going to be looking like $1 million on the show. You're going to be looking good, baby, good. I can't wait. Chris, what about you, boys? How you doing today?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm excited for another weekend of Call of Duty.
Oh yeah.
Today was a bit of a weird one. I'm actually surprised that Pat's not unfazed.
Oh, it's a good one. That's a good one, Chris.
Why would I be phased?
I don't know. We'll have to talk about it real soon.
We'll have to talk about it.
When I think about the past, like especially my past in Call of Duty, bro, there's been so many times where you have minor setbacks that sets you up for a major comeback.
All right, listen, we're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about that. It's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's going to be the story of the day for Patrick Price. We also have a special guest joining us. Hey, Asam, you're not really special anymore. You're always on.
No, I'm not special.
You know what I'm saying? But you are the fucking GOAT for always hopping on and just chilling out with us and talking COD. And if any other pros in the chat or anybody's watching wants to hop on and kick the shit, you let me know. You join the call and we get it fucking going. But Asam, how you doing? You been doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing good, Tom. You know, I know you don't like hearing it, but we had a really good day of scrims, so yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
What's that mean? What's that mean? What was map count?
Yeah, and who are you playing against?
Listen, I ain't telling map count, all right?
We gotta start asking the hard questions.
So why don't you not say who you're playing against, but say the map count? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't remember, bro.
It's not adding up, Ace. It's not adding up.
Listen. No, I don't remember specifics. I just remember we had a really good day. Like today was perfect.
No way, that's Florida, dude.
We warmed up Florida and then we scrimmed New York. I ain't gonna take map count though.
Damn, you must have been shitting on Florida with the way they came out today. We're gonna talk about it. But listen, sometimes map count doesn't mean anything. Sometimes you have a really good day of scrims, even when you like split maps. You just like felt it, you know, like you felt that you guys were playing well. But it's good to have you on the show. Thank you so much for hopping on. And guys, please make sure to put command merch in the chat. Go to richandlonely.shop if you guys are interested in the Rich and Lonely X the Flank drop. It is now live. It went live today. We're giving away, not giving away, but we've released 11 pieces. So a lot to choose from if you guys are interested.
Heat.
Yeah, you like it, Pat? You like it?
Heat, bro.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
The designs are super cool. Yeah, the designs are different.
Sure, fire.
Hell yeah. Thank you guys for copping some stuff, man. And shout out to Mbos and Aaron Create over on the optic side. All the guys over there at Rich and Lonely. They've been helping me out a lot and just sitting down going through some of the designs. We were really pumped out to let this one go. And we're super excited that it's finally here and you guys are able to cop some stuff. So if you guys are interested, command merch in the chat. You should get the link, and then also go to richandlonely.shop if you guys don't want to put command merch in the chat. But the link is right there for you guys, and then we're also going to put the link in the description down below here on YouTube if you guys are watching here on YouTube if you guys are interested. But let's get right into it, man. We had a long day of COD. Psych. We had the opposite. We had fucking what? 3-0, 3-1, 3-0. These matches went by in a blink of an eye. Instantly, I don't know what the hell was going on today. Let's just hop right into it and talk about it. We're kicking things off with Paris Legion going up against Toronto Ultra, Bocage Hardpoint, Tuscan S&D, Berlin Control, Tuscan Hardpoint, Siege S&D. We only saw 3 maps the whole day. 3 maps. We saw Bocage, Tuscan, and Berlin. That's it. The whole entire day.
Really?
The whole day, Eason. The whole day.
Wow.
I mean, to be fair, there's not many maps, but everybody, we saw so much Bocage and so much Tuscan, like in the first couple series. We didn't get to see anything until like the last series, but we'll get into it.
We're not the only ones that think Gavutu is just pure shit. So the league is kind of following suit here.
Yeah, nah, 100%. I would love to get some new maps added into the game. When are we getting new maps added in? No DLCs. A new map was just added. Sphere. Asim, is this shit?
Yeah, I played it this morning. It's shit.
Fuck, man. You know what? It just never stops. It just never stops.
Myself.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on. What the hell is this?
It's fun for pubs, though.
I mean, everything's fun in pubs. You know what I'm saying? Because you could just run around and shit on a bunch of noobs all day. It is what it is. We need more maps. We need more competitive maps for everybody in the chat and all of us that want to play on a competitive level. I just don't understand why we can't get some drafted up and added into the game for the community. But that's a topic for another time. Pat, Chris, we'll hop into the vetoes. Anything that caught your eye? I feel like there's nothing really much here. We should just get right into it because Paris is dog meat. Go ahead, bro, Chris. Go ahead.
This was literally a masterclass by Toronto. These guys literally came in, took care of business, and were just setting a precedent for their major. Yeah. And they all played really well. I mean, we're gonna talk about the entire series a little bit, but you know, Cammy's been firing on all cylinders in this series. He's looking a lot better. He's probably been my main worry for this team because he hasn't, you know, like a lot of players actually. Now that you think about it, a lot of them haven't looked like, you know, they did in Cold War, and Cammy's one of those players, but he's stepping up. Insight came back into the lineup, and they just took care of business, man. I mean, this Paris team is just shocked. There's no surprise. We talked to Donnie. We're all good friends with him. We have conversations on and off stream, and there's rumors that apparently he might not even had like was supposed to be playing. Like apparently, he tried to bench himself or something like that, and I don't know exactly. Yeah, apparently, and I don't know what's really going on with this Paris roster. I mean, wait.
You know people? You got sources or something?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
You got some sources? Well, I mean, listen.
You have the same sources I do. You saw it.
Did it get leaked? Did it get leaked?
No.
Okay, well, there you go. You just leaked it. You just leaked it. You just leaked it, Chris.
Wait, me? I don't give a shit. Like,
all right.
Listen, man. Like, at the end of the day, like,
don't tell Chris any intel because he will leak it on the flank. You know what I'm saying? I personally,
whatever, man.
I don't like saying anything until it gets out, until CDL Intel talks about it, or
hey, man, dude,
you know, like, because I got a lot of friends in the scene. Sometimes they come to me for advice. You know what I'm saying?
All I'm saying is we both know that dude does not want to be there. Like,
yeah,
what?
It's not news. Yeah, it's not really news. I mean, let's just get into it. I mean, for me, I think Paris needs to start thinking about a loan situation here. I feel like loaning is something we don't talk about enough in COD. We've seen it in the past with Splice, with Hook. We've seen it with Faze when they sent Dylan to EG during the Black Ops 4 year. It's a perfect scenario. If Paris can't go to champs and the team is chalked up, bring somebody in, loan Donnie out wherever he wants to go or what he wants to do. Let him finish the year out and try and make a run at champs and try and make a name for himself. And then at the end of the year, Paris get Donnie back and they build around him going into the MW2 season. I just feel like loaning is something that people really don't, or not people, but the franchise organizations don't really do. You know, they don't really think about it.
This franchise, Tom, doesn't do much of anything.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not fucking wrong.
As far as the players go, you said they're chalked. I got a better word. They are compromised, all of them, including the coach. There's nothing that's going to fix this roster. No matter how many people we bring in, bring out, there's no fix. They're fucked. Don's in a shit spot. I think Don deserves insanely better. If I had the extra cash laying around, I would buy him out my damn self just to get him off this franchise.
Damn.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest.
He could easily be a star player on another team. He could help a lot of other teams that need the help right now. And yeah, at this point, where CDL is, if you sign to Paris Legion, that's a career death sentence.
100%.
That's my opinion. If you're a player going into next season, bro, Paris Legion is a career Destinates.
Ending.
Avoid at all costs. At all costs.
Honestly,
At all
that's typical for Donnie because like he's still coming out the situation. Like he should come out the situation unscathed. But honestly, I don't give a shit if I leaked anything. Like this organization deserves to get some shit because as bad as the league is sometimes, right? We shit on the league and like what they can do better for the players, for the viewers, for content, whatever. Like even the league doesn't deserve it. Like an organization in it like Paris. Like
I agree.
It's disgusting. At least everyone else tries. Like, what the fuck is this? Like,
why buy into a league if you're not even gonna attempt to win in it? You're not even gonna attempt to make a good roster.
Did you see the leak from Jacob Wolf today talking about like the buy-ins for the CDL? Like they only paid in 2019 and they were deferred in 2020, 2021, and most likely going to be deferred again in 2022. Overwatch, they lowered the buy-in, so teams just owe less. I imagine something similar happens in COD because of the astronomical buy-in that they had in comparison to Overwatch. So I think Paris, from an organization management standpoint, are already looking for a way out. They don't want to be here. It's clear they're putting no effort to field a competitive roster. They're doing nothing to help these players at all. Like Jimbo's not even able to fly to the US to be able to compete online in a fair environment. Like
they're career ending.
Yeah, they're career ending. Bro, his stock is getting obliterated. If it already hasn't, his stock's getting obliterated.
Like, where is he right now?
I think he might be in Montreal or Toronto. He's in Canada, like really far. Quebec. Yeah. Okay, but the thing is, I'm not defending this guy because obviously there's a lot of people could play better on this team, especially even. But I think Jimbo, we shit on him a lot for how he played. But at the end of the day, he went to the Pro-Am and he had a positive KD on LAN. I'm not saying a positive KD is everything, but he played better on LAN than he does online. And like for him to just be sitting there at home, just getting smoked, or like even sometimes even going even, like you got. Think this guy'd play a lot better if he actually was in a fairer situation.
I'll be the one to say it. John's worse than Jimbo. Really worse than Jimbo.
No.
Yeah, like so their team situation is just not ideal. Their organization situation is not ideal. They have a guy on their team that's getting fucking actually world star smoked, and one of like the two people that came into the scene, or not came into the scene, but came into the pro league, aren't even getting a fucking fair shot. Tom's not a bad player. I played against him in challengers all the time. I think obviously he deserves a actual fair shot because this ain't it. And then you got Jimbo, who again I also play in challengers, and he was good. He wasn't the best, but at the end of the day, like he's playing a lot better on LAN, and he can't even get a fair shot online. This guy's getting career end. Bro, Aches couldn't put it better. It is a career-ending situation. Look at Scraps Warzone. I'm not saying like he can't come back, but he went to Warzone. Aqua, where's he?
Every player done.
Fire. Where'd he go?
But now everybody in Warzone's trying to come back into COD. Warzone is COD, but you know what I mean.
No,
they're trying to come.
Get an opportunity. Like you go to Paris, and then every opportunity you once could have had gone forever. Like it is a career destiny. Your stock gets obliterated. Your team gets dead last every year. You obviously get shit on. The fact that Donnie has somehow came out of this looking like a star player. Bro, Don, you might be the best in the game. No bullshit. You might be the best in the game. You have somehow managed to be in this situation and look like a literal superstar. So kudos to you, bro. Whatever you're doing, you've been frying. I don't know how with the situation that you're in, but damn, bro. Every other player, destinates for their career.
Wait, dude, Tom, you team with Scraps. Do you remember how good this guy was?
No, he's disgusting.
He might not have always made the best decisions in the game, but like from a talent perspective, that guy was disgusting.
Bro, just watch him play Warzone. I mean, if people he streams all the time, he plays Warzone. I'm always in there tuning in. He still has the snapper. He still has the beam. This guy is good.
Bro, people discuss that to the gulag because he joined fucking Paris. Like Aqua was fucking nasty. Like he was, he's a little killer, but like talent wise, again, another disgusting player. Like these guys just got sent to the fucking googe by being on Paris, bro. And there's dude.
Well,
it's career ending.
Speaking of John, I mean, he was making a good play here. John, he sneaks around the back towards the end of this map. This was ultra the whole game. They had such a big lead, and then going into these last few points, the second P5, going into the P1 and into the P2, Paris just started to mount a little bit of a comeback. And then John, he sneaks through on this P2. He picks up this kill and flips the spawns for his team. So good heads up play out of John. I just felt like right here, Paris should have been able to hold this a little bit, but nobody was getting time. You can see John makes the heads up play. Nobody getting on the barrel spot. No time coming in from Paris. And Toronto's just going to waltz in through the front. You can see John finally trying to get on time now, but it's just too late. Tom Gravity's the last one up. Multiple trades are going down, and it's Toronto Ultra that stormed through the front of this one, and they're able to close this one out. So Paris making it a little bit of a closer match, but the whole first map in this boat cage, Toronto was blowing them out. It got a lot closer towards the end. But really good job from Toronto to just stay composed and not let the game get away from them. And they were able to clutch this one in the last P2 here. So good plays coming out of Toronto Ultra. We'll take a look at the final stats here. Looking at the Toronto Ultra side, Cammy, 41 and 32. Cammy's been playing a lot better, man. The last few weeks, I feel like Cammy's really been hitting form. I think a lot of people have been talking about Cammy this year, kind of not being what he was last year, right, in Cold War. But now it seems like he's kind of hitting form and getting to where he needs to be. So good job out of Toronto boys. They're all positive except for Insight. On the other side, with Paris, John and Donnie Neg, Tom and Jimbo trying to do everything they can, but it just wasn't enough. Good tries coming in from Paris on the first map. Then we get into the second match, what ended up being a Tuscan hardpoint. Let's hop into it and talk a little bit about some of these rounds. Honestly, man, this was pretty back and forth. Paris came out to a pretty strong start. They rush over towards his B side off the rip. They're trying to break ankles, able to find a couple first bloods. Paris ended up going 2-0 in the S&D. But then after that, I mean, it was all Toronto. They won 4 or 5 straight after the first 2 rounds. So Toronto Ultra maybe hitting form here, Pat. What do you think? These are your world champs.
Listen, Tom,
they are playing Paris. They're playing Paris.
Yeah, but it's always been a matter of time for these guys, right? They started out this year so hot. They obviously had a little cold streak, but bro, there's no denying how talented these guys are.
Did I say hardpoint? Did I say Tuscan hardpoint? I meant Tuscan. I meant Tuscan S&D. I meant Tuscan S&D.
They're playing the Legion. It could be either or. But at the end of the day, Tom, the Toronto Ultra were poised for this, right? Like it was just a matter of time. They had to get their teamwork back down. Some of their players had to step up individually. And when we see that, bro, did you see that performance out of Kleenex? I've never seen more than 20 assists on Bocades. That might be a record. I personally haven't seen that. It might be a thing. But, dude, the pace at which that guy plays at, and if Cammy's slaying, the others are slaying, this team is tough to beat. It doesn't matter who they're going up against. Yeah, they're playing Legion here, but I don't know. I got full faith in the Toronto boys.
Yeah, but Chris, what do you think, man? How you feeling about this Toronto team?
They look a lot better. Granted, they're playing the Papaya Legion. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, they've just been looking a lot better this entire split. I'm actually pretty excited. Just fast forwarding to the actual LAN. Like, there's a lot of competition right now. You got Rokkr looking better than ever. You got Ultra looking better than ever. You even got Seattle looking good. Like these 3 teams were teams that were, at one point mid, and then you got like New York, who won an event. And then you got Optic and Faze, right? No, obviously two of the favorites always. So like this event is going to be crazy, bro. Like Ultra look good, and I'm excited to watch this tournament.
A lot of teams, man. A lot of teams look good. Asim, I know you've been scribbing. Talk to me a little bit about Toronto. How the boys been looking? You play Toronto at all?
I mean, I said it since before the pro-am, ever since scrimming them, I could just tell they have their teamwork back in action, and I've been calling it out. I knew that they were gonna turn it up the stage, so I'm glad the boys are heating up right before the major.
Well, let's talk about this shit. Look at this. Look, this might be one of the worst setups I've ever seen from the Paris Legion.
Oh,
look at all the gaps. Look at all the gaps open in the map. You got a guy looking at roof. The whole middle of the map's open. You got 2 guys looking at the same thing on P1 side. And you could just see how Toronto was able to break this one down. I mean, they waltzed through you. It's going to open things up. Cammy's going to find one. You can see Kleenex find another one. Really good plays coming in for Toronto in the retake, but I just think the setup from Paris was terrible. I don't know what
the worst setup I've ever seen.
You think it's the worst setup you ever seen, Pat?
No bullshit. They had nothing.
Nothing. They weren't watching. They had 2 guys watching front.
They had their controllers in their hands, and that was it, bro. They weren't watching a damn thing.
Yeah, dude, I think we actually talked about this on the
flank play
a couple days ago. It's like one of those setups where like you just find yourself in a predicament where you're like, yo, this is a setup. Like we just gotta commit, like, and like hope it works.
What the fuck?
Seriously.
You never been in those scenarios, Ace, where you just get into some
like,
fucked setup. Like,
I'm just looking at it. I'm like, what?
I mean, somebody throw a shimmy mid or something. I mean, you're just gonna let Toronto waltz out mid for free? They get full mid map control. Cammy goes right through you. He just waltz on up. He just slowly walks through you and finds the first blood, and that's gonna open things up. Paris Legion, they get swarmed on his site. Not really too sure what they were thinking there, honestly, in the setup. And then I also want to bring you guys to the 4-2 round because look at what Cammy does. Starts off in a 2v3 situation, or in favor of the Paris Legion, or excuse me, 3v3. Paris Legion, they end up going towards the B side here with the bomb. And look at the plays coming out from Cammy. Jimbo's gonna rush through Church with the bomb. I mean, he's going crazy. Look at Jimbo right now with the bomb. Look at where he is. Nowhere near his teammates. Thank God he won the one-on-one here, because if he did it, it would have been looking slow. But then you see Cammy, he's going to start making some plays. They're going to try and get this bomb down. And look at the plays coming in from Cammy here in the 1v2. He's going to find a little gap because his teammate just went down. Turns and burns, finds a big two-piece.
Oh, wow.
And that's going to put, it's going to put Toronto up 5-2. That's calling game right there.
I got a question for all y'all.
No
Okay?
problem. Yeah, no problem.
I love when you ask questions.
I had a conversation with someone, I'm not going to say who, and we were talking about, like, ceilings for every player, right? And someone told me that, like, a player's ceiling can change from game to game. And I disagreed. And they said a perfect example was Cammy, because Cammy was, like, a top 2 flex last year, and, like, this year's not as good.
I actually agree with that, Ace, personally. I agree with that.
When I play against Cammy, I still see the talent in him as last year. I just feel like he might not know the game to the fullest like he does as last year, but I feel like the capability is still there.
And the thing is, mentally, he might. Well, I'm not saying he will, but he might never get there just because of like preference. Like that's just a thing. Like it'll always be a thing where you can't trick yourself into like enjoying something that you don't like. You're always gonna have an opinion of it, and that's gonna prevent you from like progressing to some degree, like no matter what. Like it's always been a thing. Like if you just don't enjoy what you're doing, if you don't enjoy something, you're never going to be as good at it as you possibly can, because you simply just don't enjoy it. It's like you're just forcing yourself. You can try and try and try, but you'll never be as good with somebody that has the same amount of talent that actually enjoys what they're doing, if that makes sense.
So I think
but that doesn't really answer my question.
Yeah. So I think like the thing here is the word ceiling is what's wrong. So, do I think Cammy is just as talented as a Call of Duty player in Cold War as he is in Vanguard? Absolutely, without a doubt in my mind. But I think
you do, right? You think he's got the same talent? Yeah,
without a doubt. But the problem is the effectiveness, because things that made you really good at Cold War don't necessarily make you as effective in Vanguard. Just because
I agree.
That's facts. Yeah,
that is true. That is also true.
As far as his skill ceiling, it's the 100% same. It's just the fact that you can't apply the same things in Vanguard that you could in Cold War, which you could literally dominate in a prior title. And that's happened before, right? When we go from title to title. But I think that's what we're seeing with a couple players. And there's some, by the way, that get more effective, right? That literally things that, you know, they might have been like an okay thing in Vanguard when it comes, or in Cold War, sorry. When it comes to Vanguard, they're better because it suits their style. And we talked about this with some players going from like Modern Warfare, where they were dominant, Cold War not as dominant, Vanguard right back to like legit dominance. And I think that's really ties into how the game plays. And you gotta think, we didn't have tax sprint last year. You didn't have to deal with like windows and doors. Like there's a lot of features that could go and come from titles, which kind of affect how a player plays.
Even something as simple as go ahead. Sorry to cut you off, but even something as simple as like time to kill. Like some players excel in games where time to kill is faster than games that have like instant time to kill. Like one example, a clear-cut example of this is just a BZ. A BZ thrives in the higher time to kill games just because his gun skill is actually superior. Like, and he uses that to his advantage, in my opinion. I don't think Abizi's necessarily always been the most methodical player. He's one of those people that kind of just runs around and almost like brute forces his way through a lot of situations. And you can get away with that stuff in a game like Cold War, in a game like Black Ops 4, right? But once you go to like a game like even MW and Vanguard, that type of play style is way less effective. Like you can still abuse movement and stuff like that. But granted, if one player doesn't miss, and he's pre-aiming and holding angle, it doesn't matter how much movement you hit this guy with. He's just going to kill you. Like, even if you try to hit him with this shit, because of how fast you die.
Yeah.
Like
the fast time to kill is a little...
These are fair points, but I just feel like the reason why I still like think that the ceiling can still be hit for Cammy is because like when you play against him, you see that same like talent and like...
Or you feel it. If you're playing against him, you feel it.
You just know, like, he's still there. Like, he's still, like, the same flex player that he was last year. But
yeah.
I do understand what y'all
I just think from a consistency aspect, ASIM, like, it's just harder to hit for certain players that are just, like, not as specialized in this type of gameplay style. Like for example, like Shotzzy loves this type of game. Like, he thrives in a game that has a lot of, like, lanes and just like a lot of like
solo plays and shit.
Yeah, solo plays, because he's really good at making those individual plays. Like we've talked about it, how he's probably the best player at utilizing kills, because he will make people chase him around the fucking map, like chase his tail the entire fucking time. Some players are not that type of player, and I'm not saying they can't be. It's just that like the certain players are just better at certain shit, and like that's like I think I just agree with like how Pat said it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like COD changes every year. Like, to say that a player with a high ceiling is gonna have the same ceiling every year from game to game, I personally disagree with that. I feel
no, that's not the question. The question is, can you still hit that same ceiling?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I mean, every game is so
nobody
different.
Can be at their ceiling consistently. That's absurd.
I mean, every player's different. I think it's situational depending on the player. Personally, I to say that every player can hit their ceiling in every game, I think is cap. I think every game is so. I mean, it's my opinion. It's not cap, but you know, in my opinion, personally, I feel like since every game is so different, some players are just better at other games. You know, like it's just how it's always been. How many times have we seen players just like be top of the line players? I mean, it's happened with me. I've had games where I was great, and then I've had games where I was just average. You know, like it's just, it is what it is. In COD, like, because we're constantly having to adapt. That's why COD pros don't get enough credit, man. Like somebody like Scump, right? Like somebody like Scump, who's just fries in every game. Like he needs credit. You need to give that guy credit. It's hard to do that.
Longevity.
Like, yeah, longevity. Like constantly adapting to the next game over and over and over again. People in other esports don't have to do that. You know, they play the same game every day, all day for years and years and years. You know what I'm saying? For COD, it's every year. You don't know what the fuck you're gonna get. And MW2's coming out. What the fuck is that gonna look like? Nobody knows. Are the jetpacks? They're not jetpacks. What's the sliding like? Is there sliding?
There's a new movement mechanic, right? That's what there was rumored. There's a new movement.
What is the movement mechanic? What is?
We have no idea what that could be.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is. When's the MW2 reveal? When are they revealing gameplay? Isn't it soon? Isn't it like in a week?
It's gotta be soon. It's gotta be really soon.
Nah, I think they're doing like a.
Don't they always do it in like August and shit?
Yeah, I think it's like.
June 8th?
Everyone is matched him in June 8th. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
But I wonder if that's
it is
going to
next
be
week,
like
huh?
a
I think it's next week.
a more of a cinematic thing where we really can't tell. You know, when they do those like cinematic trailers where it's just like.
Oh, it'll always be a cinematic trailer.
That's what I'm saying. You really can't tell what is going to be.
They always do. They always do art. Then they do like a teaser. Then they do the cinematic like trailer, and then they usually do like multiplayer last. That's like always the last.
Yo, what if you can slide into a dolphin dive? Like you slide, jump, dolphin dive.
Yeah. What if you could like dolphin dive and like hit fire and shoot like all at the same time? I'm about to be.
It's gonna be terrible. That's gonna be terrible.
Obviously.
It's gonna be garbage. You're gonna have people like Shotzi who are just doing the craziest shit ever. You know what I'm saying? Which I mean, he will do anyway. He'll always do so anyway. But
what if they have a roll mechanic?
Nah,
bro?
please no, rolling,
Bro,
dude.
was it Berlin Control all day today?
Yes.
Yep, Berlin Control all day.
You guys remember the Black
No, there was a
Ops 4
Tuscan. There was a
specialist?
Tuscan. There was a Tuscan.
Oh, the Florida Seattle one?
Mm-hmm.
You
Rolling.
remember the Black Ops 4 specialist that had like the katana blade and you could like melee people?
Yeah,
yeah.
Bro, he had the roll, bro. What if they got a roll back?
Dude, I don't know. Rolling would be pretty cool, but I don't know if I haven't heard anything about rolling in MW2 though. I don't know if that's what's.
I haven't either.
I heard with MW2, I heard that you can slide and you can dolphin dive. That's what I heard. I heard you can tap to slide and you can hold to dive. That's the move. That's the new move mechanic. That's what I've heard. That's what like Intel's been tweeting out. All the sources. That's what everybody's been saying. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I heard. And obviously, we'll see the gameplay soon, so we'll check it out. But let's look at Toronto and how they were able to close this one out. It starts with this offense. They win their defense with ease. Paris couldn't get the beat point, but look at the way they set this up. Paris are turtling, man. They're turtling around this beat point. They end up turtling, and look how Toronto sets it up, man. They send two guys around the back, around fire, and then they leave two guys hitting through mid and coming through front. So they pretty much just overwhelm Paris. They hit from all the lanes, and Paris is just not able to win any fights here. Toronto are able to swarm on in. It's going to start with Bance and Kleenex.
Every time Vance is making a sneaky play like this, look at his face cam, bro. Run it back. This guy's got this like mischievous, angry face.
Yeah, he's probably whispering. He's probably whispering right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I'm back.
I'm on him, mate. I'm on him. You know what I'm saying? He makes the play. He's able to find one. Kleenex with another one, and Kleenex with two. That's going to get Toronto into this point. And once they get in, I mean, Paris just couldn't do anything. They just hold. Paris is trying to flood in, and they're going one by one. They're pretty much chalked up. and then Toronto was able to go back on a defense and close it out. So really big offense win from them.
They actually did. They were turtled up, but they had to commit to their setup. I think they just literally gave up pinch. Like they just ran away from it, and then Queeks comes around the back and gets 2 of them, and then Mance comes in the front. Like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah. I don't know what the. I honestly don't know what the fuck they're doing. I never know what they're doing.
They just need to commit, dude. They just need to commit, and they didn't commit. And they got broken.
Yeah, and then we go, and then Toronto goes back onto the defensive side. We got a Paris Legion listening. Why don't we tune into Paris and see how the guys were calming? They were down, and they were trying to bring this one back, but it wasn't looking good for them. So let's tune in and see how the Paris Legion boys were calming through this one.
Window on you, one dock door. You win window. I'm looking in, behind you.
Dock's door dead. Nice, good shit.
Nice.
I don't see top tower.
Top P5, I think. Top P5.
I'm close. Top P5, going S2. Dead. Nice, go in. That was in our tower.
Yo, one's watching.
I'm going top 3.
Cammy's in the back, one shot.
He's still back dirt. Still back dirt.
No, one touched that. Catwalk. Yo, we need to push you right. We need to do it.
Cat, one bullet.
One's holding duck straight.
Cat dead.
Nice,
Good
shit.
Look for dirt kid.
Where was he, Brian? He was duck.
One's dub steps. No, outer dirt dead. I killed the dirt kid.
Steps.
I'm on a 5.
Yeah, I'm pushing dock right now.
Steps dead. Dub. I'm gonna try and play
Secret. Last guy, middle. He's middle.
Man, it's
Nice.
I'm one off streaks.
There
should be in their spawn. No, outer. I'm gonna die.
Oh, down.
Amy's one shot to spawn.
Nice.
I wanna help.
There's somebody getting the point.
Double me. I'm one shot.
7 needs to go, dude.
Alright, just play close.
I'm close in the corner. Hold on. I'm one off streaks. Just hit.
Let's just cut off this listening. Let's just cut it off. Let's just shut it off. What are they doing?
He was on streaks.
Who gives a fuck? What are you gonna do with a missile on this map?
Number 7 coming out of spawn. Like somebody get on the point for my boy.
They're all flooding through mid and fire. Nobody's even going towards the fucking point.
I respect it. Look, they know the situation they're in. They are in full stock preservation mode, bro. Go on streaks,
bro.
Boost your KD up. Fuck the point. You're not winning a series. Typical.
Bro, Toronto forced one at P3, and they're like, "Yo, the Hills way, we can just go take her out. Nobody's on the P3."
Yeah, I don't know what they were doing.
What?
You even heard John in the listening, like, "Yo, somebody go to point," and then he was like, "Okay, never mind. play kills. Just keep playing kills." And then they just end up dying. I mean, nobody else on a point. They give Toronto so many opportunities to kill them because they're just sitting in a base playing spawn kills. Then after that, I mean, it was pretty much over. Paris starts going around. Toronto does the Haggy setup where they're pushing through to get in front control, and Paris is just trying to, they're just trying to go around. I mean, listen, I'm sure listen, people were saying that Haggy was like trying to take credit for the setup. That's not what Haggy's saying. I mean, Haggy had made this setup on the flank and said this is probably a good way to do it. But I'm sure most of these pro teams figured it out anyway before Haggy even said something. I mean,
thank you for defending
you know what?
me.
Fuck them. It's the Haggy setup. All the teams stole it from
I just
Haggy.
like the gimmick. I just like the gimmick, man. It's the Haggy setup,
Listen,
you know?
man, I know I got a reputation, so everyone's just gonna like anything I say is just gonna look as like, oh, this guy's being
Not to be fair though. I can understand. I can understand the where people thought you might have been taking credit, but I mean, at the end of the day, everybody's
I can't
cool with
make
it.
a good analysis,
Yeah.
man. Please.
I call that how I see it, bro. Rambo couldn't have came up with that. Revan could not have came up with that. Replays could not. That is the Haggy trademark.
Yeah, G. We're gonna give that one a Haggy, but these pro teams are starting to pick up on it now. They're doing a good job, especially with some of these top coaches, man, in the league, and taking a look at the mini map in practice. I mean, anybody could tell you that staying in the back and just playing fire is just not a good play. It's just a waste, man. If teams are gonna go around, let them. Get pushed up. Play your kills, do what you got to do. Take a look at the final scoreboard. Jimbo 13 and 22. Not looking good. On the other side, Kleenex 25 and 21. Everybody positive. Cammy even. Everybody from Paris getting smoked. Everybody negative. Only one even was Tom Gravity. But it just wasn't enough for the boys here on Paris, man. Final thoughts on the series, gentlemen. Final thoughts.
That's all I gotta say.
That's not right. It's not right. What about you, Pat? Any final thoughts on the series before we head into the next one?
Listen. Sell your damn franchise.
Nah.
It's somebody who wants to be in the scene and wants to, get a competitive roster with guys that can be supported and actually be COD professionals. Because right now, you're running a circus show. Sell the damn franchise.
Man, you heard it here, Face in the Flames.
Bro,
Sell the fucking franchise. What,
there
Chris? Go
are
ahead.
challenger organizations that have supported my ass more than this team is showing to their fucking team, dude. It's fucking embarrassing, bro.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I've had org owners or like people that like I've like played for like offered like not like loan but like rent out their house for like periods to do like local lands or something, like for fucking penny events, bro. Like these guys can't do this shit for a fucking league.
We might need to get the Stallions. We might need to get the Stallions in the league. Anybody got $25 million?
Bro, Tom, no bullshit. I think you, Tom, no bullshit. I think you could do more for the team, like assuming your league spot was yours, than the fucking Paris team does. No bullshit. I think you would like actually.
Well, I wouldn't take the team as a joke. I mean, I would definitely not wait until everybody gets picked up and just be like, yo, let's just pick up the scraps to give them the minimum. I mean, that was their game plan going into this year. They thought that was going to work. That was Paris' strat. Let's let everybody pick up players. We're going to pick scraps up that we think are good players and make a team out of the scraps and give them all the minimum because they have no choice. They have no power. They have no other team to go to. You give them all the minimum and they're forced to sign.
Well, they've done that 3 years in a row.
Bro,
yeah, what the fuck?
Hold on. I've done more. I've done more for my challenger teammates. In Cold War, I literally let Tyler perform. Well, he's an amateur. He doesn't play anymore. Come to my house from Vegas because he had shit internet. Use one of my PCs and one of my monitors and set him up in my house.
You're a good guy,
man. You're a good guy, man.
What the fuck is that, dude?
You're telling me you gave one of your teammates a Haggy setup?
Man.
I don't know why I laughed at that, bro. That was good.
I gave it to him. I let him use it. I let him use my shit. But like, point is, I'm doing that for fucking players for challengers, and the org isn't doing that shit for actual professionals.
Yeah.
Yo, sell that shit, bro. Like,
yeah.
oh god,
no,
bro.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with these fucking
Sell
guys.
it,
But
man.
you know what? Forget about it. Paris, they're not looking good. All right, struggles continue for them. Toronto, it's getting better now. They're looking good. They took down Paris 3-0. 3-0 sweep. How you doing? Let's get into the next one. We got Seattle Surge going up against the Florida Mutineers. We got a Boat Cage, Hardpoint, Tuscan S&D, Tuscan Control, Berlin Hardpoint, Berlin S&D. Gentlemen, I'll let you guys kick it off with the vetoes. What do you guys think as we get into the map number one? Anything that catches your eye, anything. You can say nothing. You can say nothing. You can say, listen.
I'm not surprised by the vetoes. I'm not sure. I mean, I'd have to see who vetoed what, but I'm confused why Berlin Control is a map. Actually, no, it wasn't Berlin Control. It was Berlin Hardpoint. So actually, no, I'm not really surprised about the vetoes. Never mind.
Okay, Pat, did you take a look at the final stats after this one, Pat? Did you take a look?
I did. And that's something I wanted to bring up. I am a little surprised. I know we've talked about it before in Florida, for whatever reason, love Boat Cage. They don't really have the greatest record on it, right? Like they played it so many damn times. They're like 8-8 or something like that, 6-8, something like that. I don't have it exact. Let me find it because I want to be right. It is.
You got to get those stats right. Got to get the stats right.
5-6. Sorry. So they played it a lot. Not that great. Yeah, on Boat Cage, they're 5-6. To me, I wouldn't play Seattle on it, especially when
I think they claim that map right now for sure.
Especially when the whole roster is testing positive for COVID.
Damn.
I'm not playing Boat Cage, especially against Seattle. Like, that makes no sense to me.
They got the Boat Cage brain and the COVID brain. That can't be a good mix.
That's already chalked. So that did stand out to me. I know they played a lot, but it makes no sense here in this series to play it. But anyway, that's what stood out for me. Nothing else other than that.
Not a real no. I do hope all the guys are okay.
Name, Pat.
I mean, look, they beat a team that has 4 members tested positive for COVID. They can't even turn their cams on, bro. They're probably got like buckets beside them that they're barking into mid-series. They feel horrible. Seattle's looking a little bit better, but I'm still not convinced. And I'm not going to be convinced until I see a consistent, successful performance out of this team on land in a tournament environment.
I mean, on a real note, I do hope all the guys at Florida are okay. I hope I hope they're getting some help, and I hope they're resting, and I hope they're quarantining, and hopefully we can get them back to health, because obviously COVID's a serious thing, and we want to make sure everybody's healthy, especially because we have a major right around the corner. If they keep testing negative, they can't play.
I think they'll be fine by the major.
Hopefully.
It's like maximum like 14 days, and I feel like it's been like a good amount.
Yeah, hopefully, but listen, you know how that shit goes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You never know. You honestly don't know what could happen. But let's get into the map a little bit. After the first rotation, this is it was a tie game, and this is kind of where Seattle just started to turn up, man. I mean, the whole second rotation of this map, Seattle just hit another gear. Want to give a huge shout out to Pred. I thought he played fantastic today. Pred was all over the map, making plays, getting aggro, popping pieces. I want to tune into the listening for the Seattle Surge. I thought they had a really good listening. I thought they sounded good. Let's tune in and hear how the boys were calming.
He's A plat. I'm gonna go. Low water. I'm top house. I'm just finessing, okay? T1, I heard. Oh, he's back to T1, one shot.
I need a hole. He's dead.
Good time, you guys. Good time.
Look at my trips bench.
Nothing's
Awakening was T1.
Top on, awakening.
Oh, dead.
Nice, boys.
I'm going.
He was like front gate. He stunned over from there.
I'm going left.
I'm gonna wait in the corner. I'm waiting in corner.
Okay, I'm going top.
I'm going top. Nothing bench.
I'm checking the camera. He's not camera.
One shot on time.
Tunnel. Running to A-plat.
Dead.
Nice. In the back, Dave. One shot.
I'm going tunnel.
Okay.
Standing on the open tower. I'm just saying.
I'm going around again. You guys
He's not zig.
I'm bottom house right now. I'm needing to
One shot tunnel.
Yeah, I can hit front. I'm going top house.
I don't have any time.
I can't see time. Time, race front time. I'm fighting out. Front time dead. I got time. Just keep it right. Keep it right.
One more close ramp.
Ramp out. I'm just keeping it white.
Okay.
Tell ramp shit on him. I'm fucking shitting on him. Get time.
Someone get on it.
I'm gonna get drop on it. I'm bottom house right now. Bottom house one shot.
Okay, so as you guys can hear, Pred, I mean, he was just having an absolute field day on the Boat Cage hardpoint. Good plays coming at him. Florida was actually able to bring this one back a little bit as the game went on. They made this a game. Going into the next set of rotations, they were able to get a lot of time on this P1 hill. They just got a clean wipe and kind of pin Seattle back into, behind house and those, like, back tree spawns over there. And just able to chain a couple hills together and bring this one back. But Seattle, they held on strong. Did you guys hear about the Dante's car accident? Bro, it was bad, man. Really bad. What? He got into his whole Corvette was smashed. He hydroplaned underneath an 18-wheeler.
My God.
He hydroplaned underneath a fucking big ass truck, damn. And bro, the whole entire car was smashed except for the driver's seat.
Bro, he didn't post anything about it.
He showed me videos. He showed me videos and pictures. I was like, dude, damn.
Holy
Nah, he posted it. I thought he posted it. He posted a little bit.
On his story
He posted it, but yeah. I mean, he reached out to me and showed me a few other like videos and stuff.
Oh my God.
But I guess the weather was really bad, and he texted me and he said he was singing Alicia Keys. He was blasting Alicia Keys, and his car hydroplaned. That's what he told me.
I love Dante,
and he said, thank God that he was just driving safely. He said he was driving super slow, and that he just hydroplaned a little bit because of the water, and because he wasn't driving fast, because he was driving slow. It saved his life, driving, just driving, in a good way, not like a maniac, just, being,
Holy shit, bro.
So,
damn, dude, I'm glad he's okay.
Yeah,
Holy,
me
that
too.
Could have been a tragedy.
Just looking at it and stuff, God bless that everything was okay, and, thankfully he only left the accident with a few scratches, nothing too bad, and, everybody was okay. Just seeing the car, I mean, I don't know if he's going to share any pictures of the car, but Maron, this thing, it was flattened. The car just looked completely totaled. I don't know if it's totaled or not, but it looked bad. So thank God he's okay. No, this happened a few days ago. I'm not sure.
A few days ago, okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure when exactly it was, but it happened a few days ago. Somebody in the chat said his Corvette. It was his Corvette. Which I don't think. Our Corvettes, they're not all-wheel drive, right? Corvettes?
No, they're rear-wheel drive.
Yeah, so I can see why. See, anytime I get a car, I'm looking into a car. I always want an all-wheel drive car because the real.
I went to his Twitter and he just got it. April.
Yeah, he just got the car.
Yeah.
He just got it.
He's only had it for like he only had it for like 3 weeks or a month.
That sucks, man. That sucks. But the most important thing is, listen, cars are replaceable. The most important thing is that Dante's okay, and I'm glad he's playing well and doing his thing. 30 and 28 from Dante in the first map. Everybody positive except for Mac. Mac struggled a little bit, but it was okay. Seattle ended up getting that dub. On the other side, Dave Patty 20 and 30, only one negative, or actually Wake was negative too. What's up, Pat?
His Corvette's clean.
It's clean, super clean.
I would dust him, but it's clean.
This guy's got a GTR and shit.
I knew you was gonna say some shit about
you like that.
Speaking of GTR, have you guys been keeping up with the Phase 1 stuff? The winner of the Phase 1? Did you see this guy?
I saw that.
Bro, he just made $1 million in crypto, $250,000 Ghost sponsorship, and they gave him a Nissan GTR. It happened all on live stream. Insane.
It's some French guy, right?
Yeah, French guy. I think he's from Toronto. I think he's from Canada.
Oh,
His
wow.
name is Pros. He's a super cool guy, and I think he deserved it. After looking at some of the Phase 1 stuff, I just thought
Congrats
he
to
was
that guy.
yeah,
That's
super
dope, bro.
huge. Congrats to now a new Phase member. Welcome to the family, Pros. Congratulations
Phase 1,
on
baby.
the
What's
Phase
his
1
Twitter?
stuff. Pros, simply Pros. I remember. Yeah, Simply Pros or something like that. But really, really cool. I don't know if you guys have kept up with the Phase 1 stuff, but some life-changing stuff. And Phase also collabed with Disney, which is pretty cool. Phase Clan and Disney.
That shit is dope. Yeah.
Phase Clan hitting some levels, man. So huge shout out to Phase, man. They're doing some pretty cool stuff. If you guys are haven't seen any of that stuff, if you're interested, go hop over there and check it all out. But let's get into the next map, man. We get into the map number 2. And this one is going to be a Tuscan, correct? Yep, a Tuscan S&D. We'll get into the S&D a little bit. There's a few rounds that I want to show you guys. Starting here in the 1-2 round, little back and forth. It was the Florida boys who were able to win some rounds off the rip and kind of get this one going. But it was Reese who was able to make the play in this one. We'll take a look at it and see what he was able to do. It gets down to a 2v2 here in this round. This was a big round for Florida. 3v2 situation. Vivid's going to pick Sid mid-map, so really good shots coming out from Vivid. He's got that automaton, man. I like that Vivid switching it up a little bit. Not always running that MP40. Going to pull out the automaton, and then just look at the shots there on Mac. I mean, that's clinical, man. This is just what Reese does. Did you guys know that Reese has the worst KD in the CDL? That was a little surprising to me, but at the same time, he's the only sub on this Florida team. The only actual sub, in my opinion. You know, so you got to think that maybe Asim that played into it a little bit.
I mean, we've always said that like their playstyle is always like kind of set for like it doesn't set up Reese for failure, but like is getting baited a lot, and it's just the playstyle is on the team, to be honest.
What is it? Like, what's the actual number? Because I thought, listen, there's some players, Tom, in the league that I would assume have a lot worse KD than Reese's. So, is he like 0.7?
Well, I think the reason why
Where's he
Reese
at?
has the lowest though is because
I
of
don't
his
know.
engagement numbers, though.
Yeah,
But
he
is it
does
like-
have a
it's
high
It's not
engagement.
necessarily that like
I'm
he's
not
got,
sure
like,
exactly
Right,
his
but is it
exact
like
stats.
0.89 and that's the worst? Like, 'cause
When
if
we're
that's the
talking
case, it wouldn't be
speed,
that bad.
when we're talking speed though, Reese is by far the fastest player in the CDL.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
not-
he's
but
very
do
fast.
you think, like, that's why I'm wondering number-wise. Like, I know he's fast. I know he's talented. That's why I'd be surprised if his stat was like a legit 0.7 overall. Like, I feel like it couldn't be that low.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I
think that-
honestly
that
couldn't
stat is a
tell
little
you.
deceiving for his playstyle.
People in the chat are saying they think it's around a 0.88. That's what people
That's
are
not
saying.
that surprising for his speed. That's
Yeah, it's not surprising. at all.
like, bro. There's no way Jimbo or John have a higher than that.
They might. Who the fuck knows? They might have a higher KD. Not like KD means a lot for I mean, it means something. You know, stats mean something. KD means something. It's always good to look at stats, but you
Oh
can't.
yeah, Jimbo 0.8, bro. Look, Vivid Zoomify. Not bro.
I mean, listen, you can't look at stats without watching COD. You have to watch, and then you have to match the stats up with what you see. And I think Reese is just, you know, the pressure that he brings to the map, the aggression that he brings. His KD might hinder a little bit. You would think that Florida will maybe bring in fucking Yeez or somebody. You know, maybe somebody to back him up.
Help.
What do you think, Chris? Yeez is a good player, no? And I did want to talk about this round because I think before we get into Yeez, I feel like Wake needs a chow here. Luckily, Florida, they won the map. But Big Wake maybe got a little scared right here. I thought it was weird that he shimmied and saw him and then ran. He tried to run, and Dante just gets a free kill. What would you have done right there, Asim? Would you have chowed, or would you think it was a good play?
You have to chow. There's too late. He's too close to you. You can't run away.
Yeah,
He's
or
gonna
just
shoot you, run
slide
away.
into his corner to his left and just like hold the doorway and just make
I don't know.
Dante push you, you know? But yeah, go ahead, Chris. What do you think about Yeez? He's on the bench. He's a good player.
Yeez was really good in Cold War. I teamed with him for a period of time, and he was pretty good. I think with some more like mentorship, he could definitely provide use to this team. But in my opinion, just in general, I think this team has issues with speed, man. I think Dave plays way too fucking slow. And he needs to pick it up. But in general, like Awakening is a baity player. Like even with a sub, he's very baity. And then you already know Skies is a very aggressive AR too.
Caesar's a role player though. Like you can't drop Caesar if
you can't. You can't. I think he's probably the glue, if anything, that keeps them even like somewhat competitive. But I think like they need to go back to like their formula from Cold War, where they have Wake and Caesar running ARs and letting them kind of do their thing. And they need to get an actual sub, because you see them struggle on those maps the most, where they have to run more subs. And I feel like Reese is kind of getting left out to dry, bro. Like I get his stats and his engagement rates are the highest, but there's a huge disparity between him and the rest of his team. Like,
But you know why I hate this argument, Chris? Because we'll say this and we'll be like, bro, Dave's got to go. They need to sub. And then they'll win some series in the future. And Ogre True will tweet out about how 3 ARs and they're godlike, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but they'll play maps that are 3 ARs, 4 ARs.
That is
Bro, like the streak of maps or the streak of matches where they were winning stuff, they were winning shit on Gavutu, right? Like they were winning a lot of maps off like a Gavutu hardpoint or like a Gavutu control or some shit like that. And I'm still just like, bro, I don't give a shit. They're still running even Reese is running the fucking AR. Like, bro, they on Tuscan, they're just a lot less competitive than other teams. Bokic is the one exception. I don't know why.
Yeah, Bokic are just freakishly.
They're just like
freakishly good.
Yeah, they probably just have like a unique play style. But
because Skies plays faster than I've ever seen him play in his career on Bouquet.
He's probably compensating for a lot. And like we've already said this. I think Sky. We all think Skies is a role player. I said this. Skies I think can be a good sub if he wanted to, if he practiced enough. Like he's just an actual talented God player. He fills his role really well.
Yeah, but I would not want to have Dave Patty on my AR and Skies on my sub. Like if
I'm not saying
I'd rather
that.
Get rid of Dave and get a sub.
Yeah,
Skies is a beast as an AR.
No, I agree with you. But
it's
like
weird too though, because Dave is actually like statistically really good. So it's like,
I mean, bro, if you have 6 deaths in maps, you'd be statistically really good too.
But the thing is about this team is like they are pretty good at Bokic, and I think they just struggle a lot on like Tuscan. But in general, like they'll go and play Berlin, they'll go and play Gavutu, and what the fuck are they running? They're running like 3 ARs, or sometimes 4 ARs, and like you can't keep using this excuse. For
they can, and they will. And they will.
It's just stupid. Like it's just stupid. Like,
well, is Yeez a pure sub? Like I don't know. How
yes.
Oh, yes. Okay. So they got a good. So they have a good substitute on the bench. Like they have
somebody that they have somebody that they can definitely try. And he's also a good S&D player. So if they struggle at all in that sense, they could use him. But Yeez is a very selfless player. So they have somebody there. But even if they don't go with him, let's say they try it out and it doesn't work, I still think these guys like warrant some sort of a change. Like the Reese needs some fucking help. And it's not because he's just going out there putting superstar performances, but like you can just tell he's being left out to fucking dry. And like he definitely can probably check himself in terms of his pace, but I think there's a bigger issue when you're not putting up a lot of it. Like you're not putting up a normal amount of engagements rather than putting up too many engagements, if that makes sense. I think Dave is more of an issue than like Vivid's over aggression, if that makes sense.
I mean, and I think Dave's a good player. I just think they need a sub. The roles are a little off, and I definitely agree with the pace. I mean, I just feel like they play at a pretty slow pace, and especially Vanguard and how quick teams like Optic and Minnesota now and Faze and kind of how fast these guys are playing. I mean, some of these guys, man, some of these teams, they really need to pick it up a little bit. But let's look into this round. Look at Reese Vivid. How the hell did he stay alive? Lamar's going to clutch the 1v2 top fire the round prior to this. That's going to bring him to 4-4. Look at Reese somehow finessing and staying alive here. Able to get out after being tagged. Pred made an amateur mistake. He had him tagged up and went to go cook a grenade. Especially with his teammate pinching from the other side. I don't think Pred should have took a grenade out there. I think he should have just held his L trigger, would have had a free kill. But Reese gets out, and then he's just going to open things up. Because Reese got aggro, he got all of Seattle Surge's attention. That's going to pick up some easy kills for his teammates. So the Florida Mutineers, they make it a 4v1 situation quick. They end up going up 5-4, and then we hop into this last round. And Seattle were just able to shut down this B push. Starts off with a little bit of a spread. Dante's going to find one. Skies is going to trade. Lamar finds another one. And just like that, Seattle Surge, they have a 3v2 situation. But Mac going to get picked out. Seattle may be able to bring this to around 11. But you can see once he gets picked, now Pred's going to have to take this bomb. And you can kind of see how Florida was able to close this one out. Pred's going to go for that bomb plant. Skies is going to make the play. I think it was his teammate who, it was Reese, who saw him cross onto the bomb site. Skies was able to make the play. And in the 1v1 situation, I like the play from Skies here. Lamar, I think, thought that Skies was going to wrap through radio or maybe push ramp, but Lamar definitely didn't think that Skies was going to wrap all the way back towards his spawn. He lost his one. It's very rare. He did clutch a 1v2. He did clutch a 1v2 this map, but in this 1v1 to bring it to around 11, Skies made a great heads-up play. I thought it was a great route from Skies. Goes all the way around, picks him up. Going to close out the 1v1. That's going to do it for the second map. Take a look at the final scoreboard. Mac, again, struggling a little bit in this one. Wait. Lamar, 10-7. Go ahead, Asen. What's up, man?
Tommy, I forgot to bring this up. Bro, before this match started, did you know that Florida lost 8 of their last 9 S&Ds?
8?
Actually, a mind blowing. Yeah, that's actually was a mind blowing stat. Because they grind S&D, like they're always in S&D ace and shit. So I just never expected
That's
that.
a huge problem. That is a huge problem.
They also lost 3 out of their last 4 hard points, and they're 1-7 in the last 8 maps, and only winning this S&D. So they've been just getting absolutely cooked. Something weird about this S&D though that I don't think we've seen so far in Vanguard. Every first blood happened on offense in this map. Every single one.
Interesting.
Every
That's
first blood that
interesting.
happened for the offense.
Because it is a defensive heavy map now, I feel like, because you get the whole middle of the map, and always something you play it every day. Yeah, with the spawn change.
Yeah.
Like the spawn change on Tusk and Asim, I feel like this map was so offensive heavy, and then they made the spawn, and then they flipped the spawns, and now I feel like it's defensive heavy. You get all of map control right off the rip.
Yep. Yeah, it's very defensive.
Sometimes you see people not even go mid, which is weird to me. I feel like you should be going mid every time, unless people are figuring out maybe some pre-nades and stuff off the rip, maybe to stop the middle push. But I definitely think getting that mid control on defense is super important. But let's go into the next one. We got a Tuscan control, and this one was interesting, man. We're gonna start off on this first round. This is kind of where Seattle was able to hold on. It was Florida, man, who almost were able to get this B point. They get the 8 point pretty quickly, and you guys know how difficult it is to get this B point sometimes. But Seattle's gonna do a good job holding it down. Gets a little mixy here because Reese is gonna make a play onto that point. He's going to find one. That's going to open up some gaps. You can see Florida just trying to storm through front and try and make something happen. You can see Awakening trying to make a flank and trying to take her out, but it just wasn't enough. Florida go all the way down in lives. They weren't able to get any ticks on that B point, which is huge, man. You want to pay attention to those ticks because, you know, if it goes into an overtime, the team with the most ticks does get the defense. But they weren't able to close it out. But then Seattle, they get into the offense. They kept the 8 point. Seattle, not only were they able to drain Seattle's lives, but they were also able to stack the point. Good plays coming out of Seattle. We could kind of see how they were able to do it. They sent 3 around the back here. Chris, what do you think about this? A little 3 around the back, 1 slow play front. Sometimes I feel like you see a lot of people just kind of face smash church and just try and get top green and just kind of come through the front. But a little bit of a different strategy coming in from the Seattle Surge. What did you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily mind it. At the end of the day, your goal and control is all the same. Like it's a pretty. I think control is a very long.
You just got to do something together.
You just got to do something together and work a pick, and then you collapse. Like, and Florida was able to do it.
Yeah, man, you could kind of see Seattle just picking up all the kills. Seattle was able to pick up some kills, and in Florida, I mean, they have no lives. Seattle stacking a point, and they were able to get all the ticks. So really good plays coming in from Seattle, really good breaks. I like that they took their time, did something together, and went all the way around the back. And then we get into the last round. I was very annoyed with Florida in this round, man. They don't get on the point. They just don't. They get the 8 point, and you could kind of see here, Vivid is going to open things up with a big 2-piece off the rip, right? And then you can see Awakening hitting that route. Take a look at that mini-map. It's going to be Wake going all the way around the back. He's going to flood through Church, and he's going to find a couple kills of his own. But look at this. Vivid with 2, Awakening with 2. I mean, I just feel like right now Florida should be stacking, man. Get on this point. Get on it. Look, they're still not on it. Still not. And then they sent 1 guy on it. They got a guy sitting green side watching a pinch after 2 or 3 just went dead. They got a guy plat, guy pushing out, 2 guys pushing out the base. I just think, hey, stack the point. Make Seattle nervous. Make them feel like they have to run at you. What do you guys think? You think Florida should have stacked here?
I think if anything, I think Caesar needed to make a more proactive play rather than just sitting there holding the back. I don't really mind somebody like maybe even looking at green, but
look at
Caesar,
this, man.
Caesar needs to do something that's gonna like directly influence like his team. He's just like sitting in the back, and I think that's just a terrible play because at least to me, when you go 4 dead on like any control, your initial thoughts is like, oh fuck, they're gonna all get on the point. So naturally, Seattle takes the shortest routes to try to break the hill, which is through mid alley, through top green. They're not gonna go wrap the fucking spawn. Like they have like such a huge sense of urgency that like Caesar either has like a free pinch or he could come back and like stack point. And like I don't know, I just think that their philosophy in any like hill based game mode is so fucked. I remember they had like this whole thing where I think we talked about it, Tom, where it was like, oh, if somebody has etc amount of time in the hill, they're playing wrong, or we're not helping them enough to kind of push off the hill, which I just think is so stupid. Like it's completely situational. And I think that's like how they view a lot of their game modes like this in Control. They're like, oh dude, we shouldn't really stack. Like we should, play for the kills and play spread. So it's a lot safer than just kind of stacking. Like they probably have the same viewpoint in control that they do in hardpoint.
But I mean, Chris, look at this. Pat, I want you to take a look at this too. Look at the kill feed. 3 go dead. All you got to do right here, especially with Awakening blocking that back tank spawn, they're spawning out Church and Field. They are. Awakening's blocking the spawn. If you stack the point, even number 7 can stack. All of them. 8, 6, and 7 can all get in the point here. That point's going to move up to the speed of light. And where's Florida, or where's Seattle going to come from if you stack at a point? They're going to come from mid-alley, and they're going to come from Church. You stack the point, watch mid-alley, watch Church, hold some crossfires, and make Seattle make the play. Make them make the play. Instead, they just kind of sit around. They're just sitting around here. They're doing nothing. What's the point of getting kills if you're not going to make use of them?
Yeah,
pick up the pace.
But I meant Awakening. Awakening should have made a play to start progressively pinching mid alley or something like what he's doing now, but it's just too late.
Bro, even look at Dave. Dave literally
all
got
of
3
them.
dead.
The whole team.
Bro, you know what? I'm gonna tweet Dave Patty, and I'm gonna ask him for a picture of his controller. I just want. Set his controller up. I want a picture.
Why?
I guarantee you.
Why?
I guarantee you, his left stick is in pristine condition.
You think so, Pat?
Limited.
No wear and tear on the left stick.
I guarantee you, it's in pristine condition, bro. Brand new.
I don't know, Pat.
Hardly been. Bro, he doesn't move. He doesn't move.
Pat, it's all of them. None of them moved right there. The whole team.
Yeah, I know, but dude, I'm telling you, his is pristine.
And then after they didn't stack, they had the opportunity. They did the hard part. They didn't do the easy part. And then after that, I mean, Viv is going to open things up green. They're going to try and flood out onto the point. But Lamar, he's able to just close this one out and call game. You can see Lamar, he's able to find 3 here. Big 3-piece coming out of him. Going to get on that Lamar heady. And just take care of business. Clean beams coming out of Lamar. Let's take a look at the final scoreboard. 24 and 17 from Pred. He played fantastic all day. Mac had a rough couple first maps, but 18 and 15 in this one. Good plays coming out of Mac. Lamar even, and Dante 22 and 18. On the other side, Caesar 9 and 18. A rough one for him. Dave Patty 17 and 18 with 1,500 damage. 22 and 19 coming out of Wake with 3K damage, and everybody negative except for Big Wake, man. Even the damage just looks a little off. Something's just not clicking right now for the Florida boys.
Their pacing is just fucked. And I want to say this about Pred. Pred has, we used to shit on Pred and Sib for being being super inconsistent, and Seattle kind of relying on their performances to kind of carry them through series. While I do still think that Pred and Sib are integral parts of this team's success, Pred has been looking very, very consistent in the last couple series that he's been playing. He's been playing really good Call of Duty. This entire league split. So props to him. Good for him finding some consistency. Hopefully this carries over to the major. Yeah,
and then we get into the last map. This is where Seattle was able to close it out. Honestly, Florida, they got off to a pretty good start. I mean, they started with this P3, a really big hold coming in from Florida. I like the setup from them. The main important thing for Florida was locking down that street and kind of forcing Seattle front. Sometimes you see people give up the street. I don't know why. The street is the most important thing. But they're going to pick up all the kills. They're going to kind of lock down a lot of time here. And then check out Caesar Skies on this rotation. He's going to find a gap right through the middle of the map. I don't know how he got through. I just think he found a good timing here, mid-map. You see Lamar right there, top P5. Skies is going to make a good play not shooting at him. And he's going to kind of push through and open things up. By Skies making this play, he's able to get Lamar off of his hill by looking through the cracks under the train. And Seattle just wasn't able to lock down a lot of time here. So a really good first rotation coming out of Florida, but they let up. Going into the second rotation of hard points, they couldn't get anything going. And it started with Seattle holding onto that P1, that second P1. They just hold it. They bring it all the way back. And it just ends with Pred just having an absolute day. I'll show you guys how the rest of this ended off. But Chris, Pat, any final thoughts on the series?
I just think this was a huge match for Seattle because now they're in the top 8, Tom. It's actually insane.
Are they loud? They're top 8 loud?
Yeah, it's actually insane how much competitive it is for the top 8 to go into champs. Bro, it's crazy to see that Toronto's finally hitting stride, Minnesota's hitting stride. Now they're in the top 8, and Seattle is too. And teams like LA Thieves that was like at one point like fourth in seeding, they're all the way down to ninth now. New York has a huge match against Optic tomorrow to like make the winners, like, and they're in a rough spot because they need to make champs. Like, bro, the league right now is hella competitive.
Yeah, super competitive. Let's actually tune into the Florida Mutineers listening and see how they're coming before we get Chris and Pat's final thoughts.
Yo, lobby dead.
Missing fire.
Pred's still on fire. He could be on the tank. I think he's on the front tank watching the ducks cross. I saw him on fire.
Dice,
Third fire. Nice, good shit.
I said dice.
Yeah, dice, Lamar. Dice, nice good shit. Playing dice. Where's Sib?
P5.
Hey,
Mac is in small, okay?
Yeah, I'm trained right now.
Small got me.
Nice P5.
You're in mid?
I don't know anyone. Sib, and you dead.
I can do.
That's one deep.
I don't know where Mac went. I think he's 55.
Low window is dead, Lamar.
Nice, rolling for Mac. Mac is
Pushing
like
in the 10,
T1.
pushing in the 10.
Mac dead, rolling for Pred.
Alright.
I'm from
Hey,
fire right
I'm
now.
in 10. They come on fire. I'm in 10. I got low windows and back door. Yeah. Back door dead.
Side window, Lamar.
Low windows dead.
Man, no one P5 on me. P5. Second post. He's going side window.
Run away.
We have your
He's going back door.
He went back door.
I have it. Back door back. You got me.
Side windows.
P5.
Two steps.
Yeah, we got him, Reese. No. Good job, Reese. 25.
Sit, we can now hit him once.
I'm pushing dogs.
S1 steps on hill.
Yeah, I'm trying to get dogs control already.
Let's full 60, we should be good.
P5 behind me.
2B5. Yeah, I'm getting dogs, Reese. You say no?
I'm going on third steps in fire. Steps fire.
They
Yeah,
give me
I'm
P1.
hunting dogs right now.
I saw front. Pred, one shot and fire Pred.
I
I saw
have
cross.
dogs.
So that's gonna do it for the listening. Listen, one thing that Dave Patty does bring is the comms, man. I feel like Dave Patty's a good player, just not for. I don't know if he's right for this team. I feel like Dave Patty needs to be a main AR. He needs to have a lot of aggressive players around him. I feel like he could be a good leader for a team. Just because he's not working out on certain teams doesn't mean he can't work out on another team. We've seen it with Insight last year. Remember how slow Insight was last year in Cold War?
Yeah.
And then having the right people around him, his play style just worked. Like, he was so slow. He was like a...
There's a lot of players that have fallen to that, right? Like, they're really talented players. They just don't work on this environment. Like,
Yeah. I was going to say, this game does not suit Dave, like, at all, in my opinion. I think this is a game where you have to play, like, fast. Like, you have to be overly aggressive. I feel like a lot of AR players that find success in this game are playing to that play style. Like, you look at, Dashy's he's one of the most cracked players, like, I guess we can say. You got Scrappy. This guy's a challenger, but, like, you see the way that kid plays. Like, that clearly works on this game. Like, there's just that type of play style is just really, really important with an AR. But also, I think just the one thing that Florida needs is another sub player, because right now this team lives and dies on the performance of Skies. Like, when he's overperforming, and I'm not saying overperforming because I don't think he's that good of a player, but like when he's frying, that's when these guys are competitive. When
You don't think so? I think Skies is godlike. I think he's really good.
No, I think he's really good too, but I said it's not because he's not that good. I'm saying, like, when he's frying, that's when they're playing their best. So when he's like playing like bad or average, I feel like these guys struggle like a lot. And I think they live and die by his performance. They need a system change right now because their pacing is just terrible.
Yeah, I think listen, we've been hard on Dave Patty, but I do think he's a good player. I don't by any means think that he doesn't deserve a spot in this league. He's a great player. He needs the right people around him. And even Standy, he's in the chat right now, and Standy said the same thing. He thinks Dave would thrive with a really fast-paced team because he is a talented player. When you watch him play and when you hear him in the comms, he's a very methodical player, very smart player. Even in Cold War, he did a lot of great things in challenges last year. He was definitely a top prospect. Like, he is a very good player. It's just not working, man, and that's okay, man. Sometimes rosters aren't going to work. The cohesion's not going to be there, and you have to find the roster that fits. And I think there's a lot of teams that can, think about that and think about their team culture and think about the way their play styles and their teams are kind of set up. I think that's what makes some of the teams at the top so good. When you look at their team as a whole and look at all the roles and just the pacing of it all, like, let's look at Optic, right? You have Shotzi, who's kind of like the playmaker, the head basher, finding gaps. You have Scump, who's the roamer slayer. Then you have the Prolu Illies, who kind of just like, they're the comms, they're the flexes, they're the guys filling in the gaps. And then you got a main AR and Dashy, who just shoots laser beams, Like, it's a good just culture. It's a good the whole team just works from top to bottom. And some of these teams, they have the talent, but they don't have that cohesion. Does that make sense? Or am I spitting fugazi?
No, you're right.
And that kind of ties into the argument we had the other day, or not argument, but the debate where it's like, dude, you don't really know an individual skill level until he's surrounded by good players, right? Like, until he's on a team that system that they're playing actually makes sense and works for everybody, you can't tell how good each of them are, right? Like, you could be a great player in a bad system, and there's just not much you can do for yourself or your team, and it's just how it is sometimes. So
it's how it is with the law of things, bro. Like this is again another thing that you have to give credit to players like Scum, for example, that are so consistent in every COD title, no matter what situation the roster is.
You have the best talent.
Well, no, but I'm saying,
but yeah,
I mean, there's times where the Optic roster was questionable, and Scum still, I feel like, performed really well. But
what year other than World War II? I want to know. I'm curious. What year other than World War II?
I don't want to talk about this.
No, we can talk about. Hold on, I'm really curious. What year other than World War II when they decided to pick up 2 ARs? By the way. What year did he not? I mean,
if you want to go, if you want to go back to the olden days, like Pat, we were bullying some of these Optic rosters, but guess who was still frying? Scum. That guy was world starring us, even when we were world starring his team.
Now. And Temp is frying right now.
My point is, guy's disgusting. He's very, what is it called? Consistent across all titles. But the point I'm trying to make, because I'm not sitting here.
What are you guys talking about? What are you talking about?
Scump.
Oh,
but anyways, I'm not trying to get into an Optic argument with this guy because you know how he is.
Haggy was seeking some primes, Tom. That's all it was.
Listen, I'm a Lost Ark streamer now. If I wanted primes, I'd stream Call of Duty.
You're seeking some primes.
Anyways,
I mean, Haggy, I agree. You can't deny that it is a team game at the end of the day. But the best players get the best teams because they earn it. You know,
that's definitely true.
Just how it is.
Okay,
there's no doubting any individual's ability.
You guys didn't even let me finish my statement.
Chris, go ahead, Chris. Finish your statement, Chris. My bad. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
I was just mainly saying that, like, you gotta give props to these guys because we're talking about how there's these variables with players having the best teams, being on the right game, and stuff like that. Like that, sometimes with Call of Duty, the stars just don't align, bro. You get an opportunity in a game where like you might not feel as comfortable in, or you get into a bad team environment, and then like
was moved to your channel.
There's just a degree of luck into whether a player succeeds in the Call of Duty scene because your shelf life as a player is just not that long, unfortunately. So I mean, it kind of feels bad for Dave, but I think he's a very talented player. He definitely needs to be surrounded in a different environment, and I don't think this Florida environment is for him. And I think that Florida needs to make a move to improve their team, whether it's keeping Dave and getting rid of somebody else. But I think they just need a sub player, bro. Yeah. They need one desperately.
You see, Pred, he was able to call game there in those final moments. Just 32 and 22, fantastic plays coming out of Pred. Just getting aggressive and kind of locking things down on that P1. Seattle Surge able to get the 3-1 victory over the Florida Mutineers today. So good job out of them. Even the Surge, they locked that top 8 spot apparently, right, Ace? That's what you're telling me, which is really good, man.
They locked it up?
They didn't lock it up, but they got top 8. Like they're
okay. I was like, damn.
My bad. That's not what I meant. Yeah. That was a big game, but yeah, they were able to snag that top 8 spot as of right now. Obviously, that can change. But let's head into the next one. We got the Minnesota Rokkr going up against the Atlanta Faze, Bocage Hardpoint, Bocage S&D, Berlin Control, Tuscan Hardpoint, Desert Siege S&D. Before we get into it, I do want to bring on a special guest to the flank. This is my duo, my long-lost duo. Give it up for the guy who was drooling on stage today, Mr. Dylan Attached. What's going on, Dylan? What's going on, baby?
Yo, what's good, Tommy?
What's happening? What's happening, man?
Tonight?
Hey, Dylan, come on, dude. Who's feeling good every day, Dylan? Come on, son.
Another day in the office.
Yes, sir.
And, you're just having some fun.
Yes, sir, man. A
little bit too.
Yeah, good win today, Dill. I don't know if you knew, but well, for those of you who are tuning in that didn't watch the matches, Faze got 3-0 today for the first time as a team. The first time RCs, Simp, Abizi, and Celium have been 3-0'd. Is that true? Is that stat true?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's kind of fucking crazy.
That just goes to the greatness, bro, of how great Faze are.
Yeah, but I mean, they haven't been great recently, and we're going to talk about it. Dylan, how you feeling after a big W today?
Oh, I think winning that match, of course, the way we did it, like we dominated the first 2 maps, and then we had a crazy clutch map 3. So I think this is just a big like confidence booster going into like the tournament. We know what we're capable of, and it's good to like actually see it happen in a match. So I'm just hoping we go to Toronto and show up do our thing.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think, Faze is a really good team. You guys knew that going into it. After the first 2 maps, I was just like, there's no way you guys lose. And a lot of people want to talk about Faze this, Faze that, Faze. But I think enough people. Nobody's talking about you guys. Nobody's talking about Minnesota. You guys are looking great. I really think bringing in Havoc was a good move for you guys, and I feel like right now, just like the whole cohesion of the team. I keep using that word today, cohesion. I don't know why.
Good word. It's a good word.
It's a good word. It is a very good word. But you guys are just getting into rhythm now, Dill. You guys are undefeated right now in stage 3. How does that feel?
Oh, it feels amazing. I mean, it's no surprise that, we started off pretty bad this year. Major 1, Major 2, all the stages. We went, I think, 2 and 3. So the fact that we got 4 wins this stage and then got a 5th one after that is the best we've ever done in the 2 years. So it's an amazing feeling. But of course, we're giving ourselves a really good chance to make it to champs. You got to go and do the same thing at the tournament, though.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do it on land where it matters, right? That's the most important part, and that's probably what Pat's gonna say. You know, Pat's a very big.
He's a smart man. It's all about.
Yeah, it is all about land. No, it is. I mean,
online games are practice, Tom. They're practice.
Yeah, they're practice. Sure. I mean, they mean stuff. I mean, you do get CDL points from winning them. I mean, they're not like just practice, but I get what you're saying. I definitely get what you're saying. They don't matter as much.
The main event, I should say that.
Yeah. They don't matter as much. But Dylan, what were your stats like today? What the fuck? What was your KD?
Wait,
you were unkillable, untradeable.
Untradeable.
What'd you eat? What was breakfast? Give us your
today,
routine today.
What we have for breakfast? Actually, it was sunny and 70 in Minnesota, so I went for 2 walks.
Oh, that's what it was.
Sure.
The sun was out.
Got to get the vitamin D. And then I had a protein shake, chocolate protein. Just water, just mixed with water. Yeah, it's like it's all clumpy.
Write this down.
Oh, yeah, I got it for tomorrow.
And then 2 brown pasture-raised organic eggs.
Ooh, okay.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
And a go macro
protein
bar.
and some eggs. Okay.
Dylan's always eating some weird shit, bro. He's always eating some stuff I've never heard of, bro. These guys taking ginger shots and shit.
I like how he didn't just say he had 2 eggs. This guy said brown fucking pasture-raised
organic eggs, free range. You know the vibes.
Hey, I just go to the grocery store and just get the fucking regular eggs. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm doing it wrong. You know, I don't know what I'm doing over here, but
you gotta be organic.
Yeah, I gotta change up my diet, man.
No, I got you. Don't worry, I got you with the good stuff.
I'd be eating Taco Bell and fucking Chipotle and shit. You know. But yeah, Dylan, good job today, man. I think your stats, I think you had like a 1.55 or something today, and you called the game in this one. I mean, this first map, you were all over the map. It's not often you see Faze get blown out on a boat cage. I was surprised to see you guys played him on a boat cage deal. Kind of what went into that decision? You guys thought you could just match up with them? You guys have been looking good on this map?
Yeah, I think we were just feeling really confident on this map. And then Faze is known for being like the best Bokage team in the game. So we're like, all right, well, if we think we're going to play this map in the tournament, let's see how we match up versus the best Bokage team in the game.
Yeah.
And I think they haven't really played it for a while because most people do video it against them. So we're like, all right, let's just come out swinging, see what we could do. And we just kind of took off.
Yeah, listen, let's go into the comms and hear how the Minnesota Rokkr boys were coming. They had a lot of energy in this one. So let's tune in and listen to the boys.
I'm holding left side time. I'm holding left side time. One shot. 2 bottom barn. Both ARs. Behind me. He might go top. You can fight.
Barrel spot. And what's
Back barrel spot. Field door. He's in bar. Field door.
Nice. Pick him on the pinch.
I'm gonna try to pick up
I
pinch.
got it.
Barn, one shot. I'm getting a top barn, bro. Okay. Back tank. Back tank south.
Go in stables.
Front barn, hitting front barn. Hold, back to front barn. I'm picking blocks. He's getting a wrap. He's already in back. He's already back jungle. Heard that. I'm gonna have
nice.
I can hold new.
Okay. I'll hold all left. I'm going in tower.
I can hold it right. I can hold top. I'll grab time.
I can call top.
Okay, I have right. You can call top, but
I have all right.
One guy on top.
Okay. Ace and D, BZ one shot, and one guy top.
Low right. I'm one shot, guys.
Come on, Eli. You gotta win that, Eli.
Stay on time.
Two are right.
Back right tank. I'm not challenging.
I saw mid. They're flipping.
I
have tools. Tools is dead.
Shit on.
Oh my god.
Spawn killing back left.
Yo, deep right. Keep spawn killing.
I'm deep right.
We flipped. I don't see anything back left.
Oh my god.
Push pressing.
What's up? What do I need?
God.
Okay, you guys were fucking turned, Dill. You guys were fucking on one. One thing I love about your comms. Yeah, go ahead, Ethan. Go ahead.
Tommy or Dylan, are you using your studio mic?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
he?
You
I'll give
sound
him
so much more smoother than your entire team, bro.
Listen, I only want the best quality for the CDL, the streams, everything. So I'm making sure to pull out all the stops.
I like that. I
Let's
like
go.
I
that.
want them to hear me yell shit on very
Bro,
clearly.
your shit on was like echoing in your mic, bro.
Bro, when Dylan's talking shit like that, you know he's frying. That's just typical Dylan. And then also, I'm trying to get Eli in here. I don't know if he wants to join, but Standy, if you do want to join the call, you can. I was just busting your balls on that one gunfight. But one thing I do love about the listening is just commenting what you guys are looking at. You know, like talking about what you guys are holding, what's open on the map. You know, just keeping things organized, even on a bow cage, right? Because a lot of people think bow cage is just kind of a mix fest, which, I mean, granted deal it is, right? Like, it is kind of just a lot of running and trading.
Definitely.
But trying to make it as organized as possible is, like, the most important thing.
For sure, for sure. I think that's what even separated Faze like on this map is usually when they play it, like they keep it pretty controlled for Bokage, and that's why they're just so good at it.
They're one of the best teams that organize chaos in general,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Like that's
yes,
just what they
yes.
succeed in so much.
Exactly.
And this is you popping the 3-piece at the very end. Is this where the jewel came out? Was he right here?
I don't know at what point the truel came out, but yo, I didn't even know I did that until like after the series, and I was like, wait, there's no way they got me on camera drooling.
They got you in 4K.
No, the best part about it, Dylan, is not like you didn't take your hand and like wipe it up. You fucking
slurped it, bro.
Slurped
He
it up
slurped
like a
it.
piece of spaghetti or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But listen,
locked in.
really, really good plays out of you guys. 37 and 15 from attached to end things off. I'm gonna say attached for the listeners, deal, just in case they don't know. You know, some new fans. So
I got it. No worries.
You
no
know,
worries.
attached 37 and 15, doing his thing. Everybody pulling their weight for the most part in the Minnesota Rokkr. On the other side, MC, a rough one from Cell today. I think he had a .75 overall today. You don't see that.
Might have been his worst series in Vanguard.
Yeah, it might have been his worst
wow.
series, which is like you don't see that a lot. Which, listen, it is very difficult to just constantly just be at the top series after series after series. So today we found out that MC was human. You know,
He's not a robot.
He's not a robot. He had an off one today. He did.
Bro, y'all want to know some crazy shit?
That's
So
actually crazy.
Attach was traded 4 times this map, right? Out of the next 2 maps, these are kills, right? So he had to get a kill and get traded. Out of the next 2 maps, he was only traded 6 times in 2 maps.
That's
Wow,
absurd.
Jesus Christ!
He got every time he got a kill, he
Wait,
lived.
6
bro.
times in
God
2
damn.
maps, man.
Yeah, 'cause he was only traded 10 times in the entire series, like traded from it. Like, let's say he got a kill. Yeah, he didn't die for the majority of the kills he
Still,
got.
you were literally untradeable today.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
That's like the whole meme, dude, where it's like, oh, somebody trade me. Like, that's what he was saying the entire time.
Yeah,
The team had me in good spots, man. What can I say?
I like that. I like that, man.
Good
Well, that's
answer.
what happens with good communication and good teamwork. You know, everybody's gonna flourish. Everybody's gonna look good. So good job, guy, to you guys in the first map, and then we get into the second one, a Bow Cage S&D. This was the map that you guys blew him out in. Faze only won 1 round, and that was the first round, right? You guys won 6 straight. I'm pretty
Yo,
sure.
they planted the bomb instantly. Like, I was like, damn, they planted the bomb in like 4 seconds.
Yeah,
Like the
no,
first
they
round.
ran for it. They went for it and
that,
shit.
That was crazy.
I like the aggression out of you guys on the boat cage. I like how you guys weren't scared to make plays. Havoc was definitely feeling himself a little bit. I mean, he was
Yeah.
all over the map.
Somebody in the
he-
chat said the drool was in S&D, by the way.
Oh, dude, that was focused,
Oh,
bro.
okay. I didn't really go too crazy in S&D. That was the P-Dog show for sure.
Yeah,
but I was
dude.
just
You were drooling watching him. You were
yeah, I
drooling
was
watching
drooling watching him. He was like, damn, 10 kill streak. Okay.
Yeah, and that's another thing I wanted to talk about. It's Priesta. Man, a lot of people are talking about Havoc coming into the roster, but we got to give credit to P-Dog. I also think that the reason why you guys are finding success now is because P's also stepped it up. I mean, he's been hitting form for sure. He looks like himself again. I feel like now he's getting comfortable. You know, he's starting to feel himself a little bit. He's been looking good series after series. I just feel like now the roles fit. And that just goes to show to what I was just talking about, Pat. What was the word I was just saying? Cohesion. There was no cohesion in the beginning of with your roster in the beginning of the game. I feel like now bringing Havoc on and getting all the roles right, you know, now he's starting to get a little bit more comfortable with this roster. And it goes to show that really talented players might struggle on certain rosters if things aren't working how they want it to work. So P-Dog making absolute plays. There's a couple rounds I want to show from Faze because I felt like they were trolling a little bit at times. There's a couple rounds where they were splitting up in their clutches. But Minnesota definitely outplayed them. Just really good plays. And because this was a blowout, I guess I'll ask the question. And Pat, we'll start with you. Chris, we'll go to you. Is Faze compromised right now? What's going on with Faze? What's happening with these guys? What's happening?
I think they're probably in like kind of like an effort bubble, Tom, where it's like, you know, you're sitting at the top of the leaderboard. It's mid-season. like, you know, you hit that kind of that low valley, right? And then you have this is good for them, in my opinion, right? That's what I'm trying to get at. Like they're gonna realize, like, yo, we gotta put the effort back in, get back to the top. Like, we're sitting comfy, like we're guaranteed champs, whatever. But I think this is kind of like a small wake up call for them. Rokkr obviously came out, played great, Dill especially. But for them, I mean, like you saw, bro, when are we ever gonna see Cell have the worst series he's ever had in Vanguard, right? Like, he's been their best player this entire year. So for me, small wake-up call, small setback, and I think they're really poised for a major comeback. You know, whether it's Major 3 or Major 4, I think we're going to see a different phase on LAN, especially, in my opinion. But yeah, I think it's just one of those things, right? Like, we've been there where you are the best team in the game for so long, and then you just have that, like, that little bit of complacency into a wake-up call. I think that's where they're at. I think you saw Alec tweeted about, like, effort, or forgot what he said specifically. I didn't know if you guys saw that.
No, I'm not sure. What did he tweet exactly? If you could pull up his tweet and let everybody know. These are before you continue.
He said
oh, go ahead.
Getting effort gap. So just he feels that other teams are putting in more effort than they are. Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, let's look at these couple rounds. This is one round in particular. Look at the mini map. What's the difference between Minnesota Rokkr in this one and Atlanta Faze? What's the difference in the mini map here in this 2v2? Minnesota Rokkr, they're holding nuts. Minnesota Rokkr's holding nuts, and look at Faze, just separated, super separated. They're not playing together.
Playing way too comfortable.
They're separated, and look, it's going to start with Alec. He's going to try and make a play through the middle of the map. He's going to fall, and just like that, they're in a 2v1 situation, and MC's left in the clutch. Almost clutches it. He is able to find Dylan here. He finds the timing, but then P-Dog, he gets aggro. He's going to challenge MC, and he takes him down. So really good one-on-one play coming in from P-Dog. And then it happens again in the next round. Another split coming in from Faze. When it comes to those clutch moments, when it comes to those end rounds, those mid-situational plays, Faze, again, just splitting up and not holding each other's paws. I mean, stuff like that is going to hurt them, especially in search. It also didn't help that today Minnesota Rokkr was just outplaying them and winning every fight. But Chris, what did you think? What do you think about Faze, and what do you think is going on with them? Personally, to me, I want to give more credit to the Minnesota Rokkr. I feel like we could talk about Faze, but to me, I just think Minnesota's hitting form right now. They look really, really good, and I think people need to give them more credit.
Yeah, Minnesota's definitely hitting form. I think Attach is playing some of the best scout he's ever played. You got Havoc. I think Havoc brings a lot to the team. I think he directs traffic. He brings a lot of comms and a lot of hype, like energy to the team, which is good because I feel like that's something that they lacked. It kind of revitalized that energy within the team, I feel like, and I think they're just hitting a really, big stride right now. But on the topic of Faze, because we like to talk about them, I think these guys are still a good team. If anyone says these guys suck or they're still not like a top 2 team right now, until they start dwindling in the standings, these guys are still going to be considered a top 2 team, regardless of like if they just lost.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think that's not what people are saying, though. That is not what people are saying.
Until I think people are overreacting. Like, you're allowed to lose a series. It doesn't just make you all of a sudden like a bottom fucking 8 team. But regardless,
I agree.
Just on the topic of Faze in general,
though, Chris.
Okay, yeah.
People care more when they lose than when they win, right?
People are so fried. People are so fried with their takes about Faze just because they just don't think, like, they just hate on them. But at the end of the day, I still think that this game is just not their game. And I do think that they aren't going to like be that consistent, really, good Faze that we've seen in Cold War in this title. I don't think they have it in them this year, unfortunately. I think Celium has been the only person that has really shown any sort of greatness and consistency on this team. And I think when he struggles, you see them get actually fucking smoked like they did today because he struggled. Right?
So you don't see them hitting. You don't see them maybe making runs still. I still think they're a scary team going into that.
I think they can. I think they can still win, bro. It's Vanguard, but I don't see them being dominant because that's like the
well, they're not. I mean, they're not. I mean, looking at them compared to the last couple years.
But the whole point is like, you just see way too much inconsistency. I think at the beginning of this year, it was very apparent that you weren't going to see the same consistency from this team. I think Abizi has looked poor in comparison to how consistent he was last year. Same with Simp. Like, these guys are just not playing up to their standards. And I just think this isn't the game for them. And I don't know how this is going to pan out in the future, whether, you know, they might be better at other games, but it's clear that they're just not as good at Vanguard as they were at Cold War. And I don't think they're going to reach that ceiling where they're just dominant.
I also think this game,
ever, like in this game,
you can't be as consistent. Like you're talking about, like consistency.
Yeah.
So look, we've had multiple different event winners every event. Like if no one's been back or in the same grand finals. Like it's just a different game, right? Like where it's just, I feel like it's impossible, to be honest, to be consistent in this game.
Not necessarily. I think this game just has a really unique way of playing the game that
I think there's way more
in
RNG
that consistency. There is. I mean, there is. Anybody that tells you differently is fucking smoked and has no idea what they're talking about when it comes to Call of Duty.
There's been 4 different winners today already this year.
Because in general,
never repeat grand finals. Like no two same teams have been in this final again.
In general, we talk about it all the time. We watch the fucking matches. We're like, dude, this spawn, this thing, that thing. Like we are fucking aware of it. If anyone tells you differently, they just don't watch the games. They don't know anything about Call of Duty. But regardless, I think this just isn't their title. I don't think they're going to reach that dominant, consistent form. But I do think that there is a method to the madness, and I think Optic kind of embodies that in how consistent they've been, even though they haven't won everything. I just think it's really hard to be dominant, and I don't think FaZe is going to be at that point this year. But anybody that tells you that they're not still a top 2 team or even a contestant in running for a championship is fucking fried.
You should see the Call of Duty competitive ready. Abizi's trash. FaZe are terrible. People are acting like they're the 12th team in the league. With reading some of the posts, you know. I definitely agree with you that I don't know why people are like writing them off. And you know, people might say about the game, right? I was talking about that before, how Vanguard, I feel like it's very consistent, this and that. People are like, you're making excuses. Well, I'm like, listen, guys, there's been 4 different winners. We don't know who's gonna win at the next event. We might see a 5th winner next event at the Toronto Ultra. We might see another winner this year. Which that doesn't take away from the teams who are playing well and who are playing together. At the end of the day, even with a shit game, you still have to play as a team. I think there's a lot of competition. I think that's also a factor. I think it's a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of everything.
And Asim, I hate to do this to you if you're still here, but like, bro, LA Gorillas just won an event out of nowhere and then lost 10 series in a row. Like, how do you go from being the best team on a weekend to losing 10 series in a row?
I
whatever
agree.
It was. Like that's mind blowing, bro. That literally doesn't happen.
I don't think we've ever seen anything like that where teams won an event and then they have just completely completely showed the exact opposite going into the next few weeks, right? Like, have we? There has to be another example of that happening.
It's never been that drastic.
Not to that. Like somebody said, Optic Black Ops 4. It's not that they were not this drastic. They were not that drastic. They didn't win the first event. They won the first event in Black Ops 4. They didn't fall off. They were still competitive. They were still playing, doing their thing. People are saying maybe the Volk with LG in Black Ops 4. It's a good comparison. Maybe the Volk event with LG. But I don't even think they fell off that much. But I mean, you know, it's a very day-to-day thing, and I think it's a little bit of everything: the game, the competition, you know, and then the effort. Like Alex said, it was interesting to me that he's talking about effort. I wonder what he means by that. You see
I've
lot.
actually seen him complain a few times when they lost, right? Like I feel like he feels that something obviously is happening in their gameplay that I guess he doesn't agree with. Because you know, they lost that one thing. He was like, remember, I had to pull out an SMG and plant bombs, you know, shit like that, where I feel like bro, he's just having that kind of frustration where fuck it, like something's off.
It's the PR answer, bro. I'll tell you what it is. They fucking hate this game. They no matter how much they try, they can't seem to wrap their fucking heads around it because they're so fucking tired of it and annoyed by playing the game. And it's not an excuse. It's a it's an actual valid thing to.
Is it? I think that's bullshit though. I think that's annoying.
If you fucking hate your job, you are simply not ever going to perform as good as somebody that actually enjoys what they're doing. It doesn't matter how hard you try. It does not fucking matter.
I think that's dumb to say though, Chris, because even if you don't like the game, you're a fucking professional at the end of the day.
Yes, I'm not.
You have to play the game. You have to play the game.
They still are playing. They're
well, I mean, Alex out here talking about effort. I mean, Alex out here tweeting about
subconscious thing, and maybe
it's a subconscious thing, bro.
Maybe he enjoys it. Maybe it's not.
Let's think about it. The S&D 8s we see every night. We see Shotzi in them every night. We see Prolu in them. Do you see any of the Faze guys in them? Have any of the Faze guys been playing in any of those? No.
Okay. But the thing is, Tom.
Tupac,
the thing is though, Tom. S&D 8s isn't necessarily going to make you play better as a team. It's just like an extra push thing. It's never a necessity. But
you also might be able to argue that they like S&D more than they like Respawn in this game, and that's why they play those.
But the point I'm trying to make, I'm not saying that they're just not like. They're still a competitive team. They still have what it takes to win an event, but it doesn't matter how hard you fucking try. If you fucking hate something, you're simply not going to be as good as you possibly can.
Apparently MC and Simp were in them. Apparently I was wrong. Apparently MC and Simp have been in them, right? But that's not what I'm saying. People are saying bias. This is the opposite of being biased towards FaZe. I'm saying if Alex complaining about effort and this and that, I'm saying that shouldn't be a thing. If effort is a problem in the team,
Tom, it might
that should not be a problem. That shouldn't even be a thing. That shouldn't even effort should not be a problem when you're a professional.
What are you gonna do? Bench them?
No, they gotta they gotta get more effort. They gotta fucking get their head out of their ass.
And that's what I'm saying. It's one of those things where no matter how hard you fucking try, bro, like it's just a subconscious thing, bro. Like in your head, it's something that you have to mentally train yourself to basically just block out. It's one of those things. It's some of the hardest things. It's some of the hardest shit you'll ever have to do in your life to kind of get out of like slumps like that.
Bro,
it's very fucking difficult.
It's also not like this is just like a video game thing, right? There's plenty of people who are the best in the world at what they do, but they get tired of it sometimes, right? And I think with Call of Duty, there's factors where like, bro, you just play a game that you might not like. Like this game, in my opinion, is dog shit in Respawn. It's horrible. So it makes a lot of sense to me to a team who is so dominant in Respawn in other titles that they enjoy to just not like this title as much, and that's going to affect them subconsciously on whether or not that they want to play. Bro, didn't Formal literally decide to like call it quits just because he wasn't enjoying it? You're telling me he isn't as equally as talented as he would have been? Like sometimes you just don't enjoy something as much, and bro, I think it's fair to blame the game, bro. I think it's totally fair to blame this game.
Bro, he literally left this game, went to go play a game he enjoyed after he retired and didn't look as quote unquote talented in games that he did enjoy, and won a fucking event in Halo, putting up literally MVP performances.
Sounds like a them problem to me. Sounds like a them fucking problem.
No, it 100% is.
You know what I'm talking about?
This is all an issue that is down to the person, and some people can get over that. Some people can't, and you're going to find it just a lot more that it's hard for people to do. It's just human nature. And they're not exclusive to this issue, by the way. Look at Optic in World War II. Like players from Optic in World War II had the same fucking sentiment. They just they hated the game. It affected their performance. Like it's not like they just fell off and forgot how to play Call of Duty. You see them still playing now, and they're some of the best players in our fucking league. Like it's not exclusive to FaZe, but people are going to look at it as an excuse that it's exclusive to FaZe because people are fucking haters. This is not an exclusive thing. This has happened to multiple teams, and it's happened in multiple esports. It's happened in actual sports. Sometimes you just fall out of love with what you're doing, and it's going to affect your performance. And some of these people can get out of it, and some people can't.
This is one thing I'll give to Porter, because I truly think he's the only player that I've ever seen it not happen to. I think Crim6 is the only player in competitive COD that I've ever seen who just never got to the point where he was like, dude, I don't like this game. I'm not going to give as much effort. He's the only person. And I truly believe that is one of his biggest like factors behind his success, because he's the only person out of every player that I've ever seen and dealt with. He's the only one who's never experienced. I've never seen experience that.
You want to know why? It's
anyone else, but he's the only one.
And that's because
Clay, all the Damon, Formal, you can name every other great. It's happened to all of them. Every single one. But Crim's the only one
this is off topic. This is off topic as fuck that we're talking about this, but that's because Crim is a fucking psychopath.
Yeah,
he's also fucking nuts. This guy's nuts. This fucking guy.
Bro, I fucking love that guy. But like I'm saying, bro. Don't be fucking sitting here and just like shitting on these guys for it happening to them, because it's happened to your favorite fucking player too. So like stop the fucking bullshit. Give these guys their credit. they might not be as good as they were last year, but to say that these guys are dog shit is literally such a fucking hater take.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
You need to fucking get a solid fucking grip.
Yeah, no, seeing some of the response on socials after this loss was just weird to me.
Bro, it's so fucking fried, bro. Like,
I agree.
I feel bad for these guys because like I feel bad for Alec, bro, because Alec is like one of the nicest people I've probably ever talked to, and like
they're all nice kids. I mean, they're all good guys.
But
man.
I feel so bad for him because he's one of the nicest people I've ever talked to, and bro, I know this shit grinds his fucking gears, bro.
Because they're competitors, man. They want to win.
Be in the same boat, dude. Like, oh man.
Yeah,
no,
you know why that is though?
Oh shit.
It's just because they've won so much for so long. Like winning for a whole year in Call of Duty. Even this season, they got what second, had 2 dominant stages.
They're still first in the CDL.
Yeah, they're still first in the standings. So like when people get that opportunity to finally see you lose and see you just kind of
kick you while you're down, bro. Kick you while you're down.
They go extra hard to like keep you down because they don't want to see you winning again.
I mean, the more success you find, the more hate you're gonna get. I mean, that's just how the cookie crumbles. And I would think that the Faze guys understand that. I hope they understand that. I hope the Faze guys don't beat themselves down and argue and this and that, and it collapses a team because they shouldn't be like that. They're still a great team. They're still top 2 in the standings. They're all the way up there. And the way that people are talking about this team is just like, I agree with you, Chris. I think some of the takes that I'm seeing online are ridiculous. I just think people are being very, very dramatic.
Bro, people were calling Scump to retire like a couple years ago when he was just having an off year.
Crazy?
Isn't that
fucking crazy?
Where he clearly didn't like the game. Like, bro, we know these people personally. We can see in their fucking faces, right? Like, and now, even now, this guy's still one of the most consistent the best players in our league. Like, and I'm using Scump as an example because people are quick, people love Scump. But like when you look at a team like Faze who has so many haters right now, like they remind me of the whole like Farico thing, bro. Like we had our haters. So when we started to go downhill, granted we were a lot more obnoxious, right?
Bro, beating y'all were the only event we were the favorites.
But yeah, that's the point I'm trying to make. Like I can relate to this like whole thing to a degree in my own career. I'm not saying I'm as great as these guys, but you fall out of love with the game, it's going to directly affect your performance. It doesn't just mean that you're terrible at Call of Duty.
Yeah, I don't think any of these teams like this fucking game. This game sucks. This game is not good.
I like this game.
Dylan loves the game. Dylan
Wait, I actually like this game a lot.
Well, I mean, you probably just think it's fun to play, but on a competitive level, the game's not as competitive as past COD.
I wouldn't say it's the greatest competitive functioning game, but I like it. I think it's fun.
Yeah,
but overall, I don't think it's
Yeah, I mean, we've heard Dashy talk about it too, right? Some of the Optic guys, they said the same shit, that they like the game. They think it's fun, that the game is fun, this and that.
People's definition of fun is different, man.
Yeah. I mean, let's tune in. Let's see how the Atlanta Faze boys are talking. Let's go into the listening and see how they're able to get through this round.
Glass hall.
I'm starting on for you.
I think she benched. I got one court. Top fire. 20. Wait, where'd he go? What the fuck? Oh, he's our side.
One last four. Out of 10, one shot.
I'll see cross over.
Out of 2 out of 1. Our dice.
Got me. All good.
Our actually, close right here.
Close.
Yeah, he's pounding, guys. I'm dead. I got 2 shots. Yeah, Dylan's in glass hall. One's close on
P4, one shot.
I'll see cross.
Somewhere out or standing.
I'm nading.
I'm nading out her.
I'm top wires right now. I hit him.
Me too.
Flashed it.
I didn't nade him. He's close. Laying down. One shot.
There's shit.
Job. I'll see glass.
Another guy clutch stairs. Another guy clutch stairs.
He's always or something.
Nice. 2 dead.
Nothing third.
I got her.
Give me clutch on it. Oh, it beat on. You don't make him once.
Beat on, one shot, beat on.
Last ball, 1 shot done.
One shot from fire, guys. Top 3 or 3.
Out of the point. I'm point shielding. Mate.
I'm point.
Wait.
Child at her.
I'm clutching him.
He's staying behind the barrels. And see the wooden barrels.
I'll say mid, guys.
I stunned him. I know him.
I know, guys.
Inner glass. Dylan.
Nice one. Out of heady. Watch out.
Where close?
Out of the
Beat on.
I'm trying to help you down. He pushed me out.
Beat on.
In the corner.
Out of heady.
Three dead.
I think the Faze boys sounded good, man. A lot of energy in the comms. I think for me, the last thing I'll say about Faze is listen, in MW, I think they were top 2 with Dallas Empire. In Cold War, I thought they were top 2. I thought they were number 1 in Cold War. And in Vanguard, they're still top 2 in the standings. They're a great team, man. I think right now, if you're a Faze fan, you shouldn't worry. You know, I think that they're just, you know, this is a year where they're being tested. I think they're being tested. I think there's a lot of competition now. They had a target on their back going into the year, being the world champions, and you know, they're a good team that a lot of people are trying to beat now. And I just think a lot of people now are building really good teams. And you could say a lot of things about the game and about this and about that. It all comes together. Everybody's right? Like Chris, everything you were saying. And Pat, about the game, like I get it. I definitely get it. So for the Faze guys, they're gonna have to, you know, just somehow get out of this slump, man. It's a mental for them right now. No, Chris and Pat, it's a mental game.
Of course.
Absolutely.
So hopefully, you know, we'll see how they go, how they do moving forward, especially going into Toronto Ultra event. But let's take a look at how Minnesota was able to close this one out. Dylan, this was nuts. This is fucking crazy. How the hell did you guys? How the hell were you guys able to clutch this one up? You guys had 4 lives left, 4 lives, and I don't even know how many lives did FaZe have. They had a lot. They had a lot of lives. You guys were just able to get a wipe and stack the point. How did that one feel?
Well, it felt great, but I was even telling my team in this game, I'm just like, or at that moment, right before that push, I think we got like 2 kills in their ticket, and I was like, oh, they fucked up. Because all it takes is 1 wave of kills in their ticket, getting on the B point, and they're spawning in maps. It's not easy to break from maps onto the B point. You have so many different angles, windows, and head glitches to use to cap the point. So once we got that wipe, I was like, yo, we could definitely do this. And when you have a big kill lead like that, you kind of get a little comfortable. And then all of a sudden they're on your point spawn killing you. And you're just like, what the fuck just happened? You all run forward and then you lose. So I was saying even before, right when we got a couple kills, I'm like, we got this. Like, I just knew it was going to happen.
Yep. I mean, you guys were able to work some kills to the front. FaZe lost their fights. You guys won the fights. It was Standy and Havoc who opened things up. And then P-Dog, he's going to be the first one that slides onto the point, stop that clock. He's going to get taken down, going to tag up Abizi. But then Standy picks up the trade. Yeah, good finesse. Priest is staying alive for a few seconds there. It was a good play. He's going to put some shots down. And this is where you guys were able to clutch up. I mean, you just got a clean wipe storming through the front. FaZe only need to win one more wave of fights, but you guys ended up winning them. And just like that, somehow, some way, you guys hold your angles, you hold your crossfires, and FaZe, they get 3-0'd for the first time with this roster. So really, really good job out of you guys, Dylan.
I'm seeing that FaZe has been swept 4 times in the history of CDL, 2 in Modern Warfare, and then 2 in Vanguard. So that would have been this roster as well. Oh, and last, did they get swept with Pristini? They might have got swept.
Yeah,
with
they
Pristini.
I'm talking about this roster. They got swept with Pristini.
Okay.
I know they got
sense.
swept with Pristini, but you said MW. Did they get?
They had 2 in MW, but that was a different roster, right? They had
5. It was a 5 team.
Though? They swept 17 times in Cold War without getting swept. So in Cold War they were 17-0 in 3-0s.
Damn. I mean, that's pretty crazy that they haven't been swept that much. Like, that's a pretty crazy stat line from them. It just kind of shows like their consistency and stuff like that. But Dylan, you guys look good, man. I'm gonna be honest. You guys look really good. I feel like you guys are very, very confident going into the event. How you feeling? You got the Toronto Ultra event right around the corner. How you guys feeling for that one? And I will be there, by the way, Dill. I'm coming through.
There?
Yeah, I'm gonna be Seabass. So Seabass called me, and they got the whole setup all ready for me at the Faze HQ, at the Faze offices.
No way, what a guy.
And I also heard that the setup is 5 minutes away from the venue. So maybe, Dill, you and some guys, maybe we get some people to come through on the show. Maybe, you know what I'm saying?
I would absolutely love to.
You know, it'd be cool.
Absolutely love to.
You come visit the Faze offices and shit.
Oh yeah, you know, that's my second home. But I answer your question about how we're feeling really good. I made sure I texted the team after. I was like, everyone go, let's go get some food, let's go celebrate, do your thing, but don't get complacent, because we went 5-0 online, but we didn't make any money. We only got CDL points, so we're trying to go to these tournaments and make money. So we know what we got to do, because sometimes we do kind of take our foot off the gas in practice, and then we have to like roast each other and roast ourselves to get back in that winning championship mentality to like work hard every day. So as long as we stay on top of that, I think we're gonna go pretty far.
Complacency is a real thing, man. A lot of teams, man, they'll be on a super high, and they'll think they're hot shit, and they'll let off that gas pedal a little bit, and shit hits the fucking fan. So I like the attitude, Dill. I like it. Just making sure.
Old man like me, I've been through the ringer a couple times.
Yeah,
so
man, you're a veteran, man. You're a vet.
How it goes. I know how it goes.
Bro. Look at the standings here. Look at 7th through like 11th. Look how close that is for that 8th spot. I know Seattle just secured the 8th spot today, but look how close it is. They got to continue to play well, because they got a lot of teams on their ass. So we know how much better the New York subliners have been looking. Because and they're
I would
probably
say the
gonna.
Rokkr too, right? Like I know they're looking good, but like you kind of got to throw them in too there.
Oh
as well.
yeah, too. They got 100
No,
points
we're right
too.
there.
Yeah, they're
We're
tied
right
with
there.
Seattle. I mean,
We were at 50
everybody.
before this.
Yo, Tom,
Everybody's
real
pretty
quick,
close, man. Everybody's pretty
before we
close.
talk more on the 6 through 11, can you tell me who's highlighted at the tippity top of the mountain?
That's
for me real
Atlanta
quick?
Faze sitting at the #1 spot in the CDL this year.
Thank
Atlanta
you for that
Faze.
clarification. Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
they're
that.
all the way at the top. You know, I was very surprised to see some of the response from today's loss. I didn't understand it. Listen, I understand if people want to critique and say this and say that, and maybe critique the gameplay a little bit, but the way people were talking, you would think FaZe is in 12th place with the way some of the posts on Twitter and the competitive Reddit. But you know, it's a lot of recency bias, right? I mean, that's just how it is too. You know, in any sport, any esport, you know, you're only as good as your last game, right? Like that's how a lot of people take things. And we don't know what the fuck's gonna happen in Toronto. We have no idea what the hell's gonna happen. That is weird. How is Optic 5-0 against FaZe and they're not #1? I guess FaZe is just like they've been more consistent.
Back-to-back grand finals.
Yeah, just the back-to-back grand finals gave them a lot of points. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know why I thought Optic was #1, but I mean, listen, they're right up there, right? They're only 5 points away from FaZe Optic at the top. But just looking at the rest of this spread is just kind of crazy because we know New York's been kicking it up.
Gorillas too, because like I would argue that they are not a #5 team, but that win was so massive for them.
Yeah, no,
In terms
massive
of, like,
win.
Safety for putting them in the league or putting them in a guarantee for longer.
Yeah, no, really. Yeah, this is honestly just a super competitive league, which sucks, man. We talk about how competitive the league is. You know, seeing some of the spawns and some of the ways that Vanguard plays out, I mean, we could only wish that with such a talented league like this, you know, the game would be a little bit different in terms of the competitive side of it. But
not even that. The viewership is just fucking ass.
yeah, the viewership has not been good. It has not. What do we have today? 15K live viewers or something like that. But I mean, to be fair, I mean, listen, they're league matches, man. I mean, you know, I watch Valorant league matches and they have 20K viewers. I mean, to be fair,
yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Valorant's got a lot of co-streams and stuff like that. They're on Twitch. We're on YouTube. The viewers have definitely taken a hit, without a doubt.
Bro, Tom, you are fucking carrying COD right now on your back.
Oh, that's
bro.
good gas. That's good gas, Chris. That's good gas. So thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Dylan.
Bro.
I appreciate
Without
it, man.
Tommy, yo, the COD community will be boring as shit.
Yeah,
so
well, we
thank
gotta
you,
bring
Tom.
some content to the
Thank
game.
all
You know what I'm
guys,
saying?
All you guys, all
Yeah,
you, this
man.
team right here. You guys keep us entertained on the flank every single match, every single weekend. So we
Thanks,
appreciate you
Dill.
guys.
That's good gas, man. That's good fucking gas. And it's nice too to get Parasite and Aches back in the scene a little bit. You know, get them more involved, and you guys can get involved a little bit and make some content. And you guys been doing the reverse sweep too. How's that been going with Deserto?
That's been going good. We'll have another episode this. I guess it comes out on Monday for everybody else. But yeah, I mean, I think we do what, Chris? Like roughly 3 a month. I think whenever there's either a league match or an event, we have one the following Monday. So.
Yeah, we do one. We do one every week for league splits and one for the majors. So
yeah, I mean, listen, guys, there's a lot of people making content that I want to show love to, right? You got the reverse sweep, so make sure to go check that out with Doug and Ian and Pat and Chris. You got the Tactical Rab, right? Tactical Rab's been doing a fantastic job. I see people in the chat talking about Rab. He's been doing a good job constantly uploading content, and he's been very vocal on socials. It's cool to have another personality in there. I know Josiah and Hold Shift and all the guys at Challengers. Challengers even started doing post-game interviews down there. They started doing they started doing post-game interviews. I saw Scrappy and them won the last Elite, right? Scrappy and them, which, by the way, Jesus Christ, that kid is good, man. He's doing it in the CDL. He's doing it in Challengers. Everywhere that kid goes, he's winning. You know, tippable from a Jersey boy. It's very tippable. Wait, his name's Thomas too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. But yeah, let's look at the matches tomorrow, man. A lot of people making content, man. So, you know, definitely want to show some love to everybody, man. A lot of people, you know, trying to keep this COD scene going, man. You know, a lot of people are very passionate about the game and love the game. And, you know, we got to show some love to everybody who's out there making content. But let's take a look at tomorrow's matches. We got some good ones tomorrow, man. We're going to kick things off with FaZe going up against LAG, the Los Angeles Gorillas. Asim, I don't know if he's still in here. I think he dipped out. I think he went to the other channel. We got London going up against Toronto. We got the Thieves going up against Boston. That's going to be a good one. LA Thieves versus Boston Breach. And then we also got the New York Subliners going up against Optic Texas. A lot of people think Optic is the best team in the game right now. You have the New York Subliners who have been looking a lot better. They've been looking really, really good. And especially New York, who's sitting at the bottom of the league. They definitely want to start making a run and getting those points up a little bit. So they're going to be going hard. Really, really good matches tomorrow, man. I'm excited for this one. Let's get into some predictions. I'm gonna go Faze. London Ultra. That's tricky for me. That's tricky. London Ultra. Who am I gonna? I'm gonna go Ultra in that one. Ultra's been looking good, man. I feel like they're hitting form. They're gonna get some confidence from today's matches. Thieves, Boston Breach. Personally, I'm gonna go with the LA Thieves. I feel like the LA Thieves are gonna come out hot tomorrow. I feel like they've been working on their game. They've been up and down. Some weeks they look great. Sometimes they look shit. Sometimes they look great. Sometimes they look shit. It's up and down for them. Very up and down. So for me, I'm going to go with the Thieves. Same with Boston. Two just inconsistent teams this year. Very good teams, just, inconsistent. So, these can go either way. And then we got the New York Subliners going up against Optic. Personally, I think Optic is just like, on a tier of their own right now. So I'm going to go Optic over New York. But what do you guys think? Chris, we'll start with you. Then we'll move to you, Pat. And Dylan, if you want, you can drop your predictions as well. Go ahead, Chris.
I got Faze, Ultra, Breach, and Optic Gaming. That's my predictions.
You got Faze, Ultra, Breach. Okay, so same thing as me, except Breach instead of Thieves.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go Faze, handle the Gorillas easily. I'm going to go Ultra, handling the Ravens easily. Thieves versus Breach, battle the inconsistencies. I'm going to go Thieves. And then for the marquee match of the night, Tom, I got Optic Gaming falling 3-2 to the New York Subliners.
Dude, man, you are fucking comedy, dude. Hey, Dylan, Dylan, do you want to give any predictions, or do you want to keep the juju?
Yeah, you know what? Good call. Keep the juju.
Yeah, keep the juju,
But
Dylan.
keep the juju.
Man.
Good comms out of you, Tom. But I do need New York, because I think we are like 15-3 map count, and we need Optic if they go 2-0. Because they play New York and LAT. We need them to lose, I think, 2 or like 3 games, 3 maps. So to get the first seed.
Yeah, no, I think tomorrow is going to be a really, really good matches. I'm super excited.
That's going to be a good match, I feel like. New York's actually really, they're like, obviously in the standings are super low, but as a new team, they're really good.
No, dude, I mean, first we got Faze LAG. LAG beat Faze at the last event in the grand finals, so that's going to be a good one. I know LAG has not been looking good, but, at any time they could be kicking up. Asen's been talking about scrims looking good. I know they brought in Gunless, and, it might have took a little bit of time for Gunless to get back into the swing of things. London versus Toronto. You got the battle of the UK, right? You got some people over there from overseas, from both sides. Not just the UK. They're from everywhere, but you know what I mean. Overseas, London versus Ultra. Thieves and Boston, both inconsistent. And then New York Optic, which, New York is stepping up their game. Optic's Optic. So, got some good matches ahead of us tomorrow. Guys, if you guys haven't already, just a little heads up, just like I said in the beginning of the show, if you put command merch in the chat or check the description on a YouTube video, or just go on socials, man, go to richandlonely.shop. If you guys want to check out the new merch drop, this is the first collaboration I've done with Rich and Lonely. And Mbos and Aaron Create have been an absolute pleasure to work with, man. Seriously. Just going through the designs and seeing how creative those guys are. It's been a pleasure working with them, man. So if you guys are interested, man, go to richandlonely.shop and go check it out, man.
Yo, Tom.
Yo, what's up, Dale? Talk to me.
Sorry to cut you off right there, but man. I do gotta say, it might not be a coincidence that we 3-0'd Faze and I played so well today. I did happen to buy a shirt and a hoodie from the Rich and Lonely X-Blank drop.
So shit.
I don't think I'm frying that hard if I don't buy that apparel.
Damn,
so
dude, that's good gas. That's good gas, man. Yeah, you think the merch is giving you some powers and shit.
Yes,
the Rich
sir.
and Lonely.
I haven't even got it yet.
Come on, man. Come on. Once you put the order in, that's it. You got the powers, baby. You got the powers and shit. But guys, if you guys do want to cop something, go ahead and check it out. Don't feel forced to. Whatever you guys want to do, it's up to you guys. And it is the first one. So if you guys haven't checked out the designs, go check it out. I thought Aaron killed this one, bro. I thought he went nuts. I just like the way that he changed up so many different styles. Where we released 11 pieces, and there's so many different styles. Yeah, they're all unique. You guys can choose from whatever you like, and choose away, man. So thank you guys for supporting the streams. Thank you guys for supporting the show, and make sure to go check out the merch, man. Next up on the list is probably we want to do mouse pads. We want to do headphones. We want to do mouses, everything, man. Socks, underwear, hats, beanies. All kinds of shit. So
I need a flank onesie, bro.
Yeah, flank onesie. If you guys have any ideas, man, drop it in the comments down below, and we'll try and get you guys whatever you guys want, man. Stanley condoms. Okay, Vals, calm the fuck down. What the fuck is wrong with you? All right, let's keep it going now. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support today. I hope you guys did enjoy today's episode. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Anchor.fm/theflank to check out all the audio sites that we're on. And go to @theflank on Twitter. Gersh doing a phenomenal job running socials. So make sure to go show him some love, man. Thank you guys so much. Take care. Brush your hair. We'll see you guys tomorrow on another episode of The Flank, man. Peace out. And also, Dylan, thank you for hopping on, man. You're the fucking GOAT. Thank you for hopping on. And yes, sir. You're the fucking man. And shout out to Asim as well. Asim's always here. He's always joining the shows and he's always showing love, man. So also show some love to Asim in the chat as well and in the comments, man. Show some love to all the guests that are taking time out of their day to hop on, man. So thank you guys for watching. Take care, brush your hair. You don't. We'll see you guys tomorrow, man. Peace out.
Later.